Hello everybody, we are just getting finished set up. We'll be on in just a moment. Please let us know how the audio sounds. Actually, Amy, this is going to be a great opportunity. I'm going to unmute you real quick. Give us a... Wait, can you give us a test of your audio, please? You're still muted. I think when I muted you and I did a whole thingamabob.
Oh, got it. Okay, I have to confirm. Hello, can you hear me okay?
I sure can. Hopefully the chat can too. Chat, let us know how everything sounds. We'll be on in just a sec.
Cool. Okay, I've got the link now. Share and then copy link. Okay, Instagram.
Okay. Okie dokie. We have not done one of these joint hangout live crochet things before, so there's technical things that I'm figuring out, but I'm really excited, guys. I think this is gonna be really cool. Okay, everything sounds good. All right, we're gonna get rocking and rolling then. Hello everybody. Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We are doing the stream from the couch today. I mean, the couch-ish. Because today we have a very special guest on our live stream. We'll get to them in just a second. But today we are crocheting their amazing new pattern that was just added to the library. Buzz the Astronaut. Look at how cute it is. Oh my gosh, it's so cute and I love it so much. And we're going to be making one today. But we're going to be making it a bit bigger. We're going to be using that chunky yarn today to make a giant one, kind of like how we did our sun last time. So that is the plan for today. Before we get going though, I just want to get a few things out of the way. The first is, if you like this video and you like what's going on here, prove it. Like down below, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. It's a great way to support this channel. Also share stuff online, all that fun stuff. If you really, really like what's going on here and you want it to keep going and you can support monetarily, that'd be great. That'd be really cool. If you want to do that, the best way to support monetarily is with the Club Crochet membership. You can learn more at clubcrochet.com. You get access to the full library of tutorials, including our brand new astronaut pattern and a bunch more. There's over 300 different patterns and tutorials on the site. That's probably the best way to support. There's also, you can purchase merch and kits in the store. You got a bunch of different kits over here. We got a bunch of cool pins in the store. Here's my favorite one, our Jimbo pin. We got this really cool, this is the brand new pin for this season's kit. There it is. A little planet that I got illustrated. And it's on a magnet, actually, so you can use it as a fridge magnet or a pin. But yeah, that's the basic gist. I just want to go through it real quick. We'll talk more about all that stuff later. Again, if you want to crochet along with us, all you need is the following things. We're going to be using, we're going to be using chunky yarn. Normally, I use worsted weight cotton yarn from our crochet kits, but today we're going to be using our chunky yarn. So we're going to use a crochet hook that works best for that. Last time I was a little bad with my crochet hook, so I brought a bunch of different ones today to try out different crochet hooks to see what works best. We'll actually get Amy's opinion on that too. You'll need the colors blue, white, and red. You also might want a little bit of yellow. And of course, you're going to want the pattern. You can find the pattern right there, clubcrochet.com/astro. You will need a membership, or you can purchase it directly from Amy, Curious Papaya, who we're going to be talking to in a sec. Yeah, I think that's everything I needed to talk about for the intro thing. That's probably the quickest I've ever done it. I'm pretty proud of it. Introducing the great and powerful, that's how we're going to call you, the great and powerful Amy from Curious Papaya. I have been wanting to collaborate with Amy for a really long time. I reached out a year or so ago, and then I totally ghosted her because I'm a butthead. But I feel like I redeemed myself. We worked together, and we made this a wonderful pattern. She made this. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk about it. But let's bring on Amy and get rocking and rolling. Amy, feel free to unmute whenever you would like. And we're going to switch over. 3, 2, 1. It looks so good. I'm so proud of this setup.
Wait. Oh, can you see me? I
We
can't see
can.
you.
Oh, no, you can't see me
Hold
anymore?
on a second. What's going on?
Well,
Oh, here I am. Okay.
we can
Okay,
see
can
you.
see me, right?
It looks so good. I'm like, I stayed up stupid late last night setting this up. And so I'm like just really, really happy with how it got set up. I'm going to
Yay,
grab
it's
my yarn.
working.
Hi, Amy.
Oh yeah, you can definitely see me. Hi, I'm watching us live on like my other device because I didn't know what it would look like. I only see you on my phone right now, so this is so cool. Let me move this out of the way though, so I'm not looking at the wrong
Yeah,
screen.
I was like, you know what? I haven't done one of these in a sec, so I want it to be like really cool looking. And
Wow, this is really cool looking. Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining. I found a knot right away in my yarn, so I ripped that off, and I'm gonna get rocking and rolling. I don't have the pattern in front of me, but you know what? I think I got it in my noggin. I've made it 3 times already, so I should remember a lot of it.
You're gonna do it from memory? That's wow.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. I probably will pull it up eventually.
Okay.
What size hook should I use for Chanel like chunky yarn? What size hook do you use?
Right now I'm using baby blanket yarn from Bernat, and I'm using an 8. But I know some people like go crazy small. They go like 6.5 with this.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm curious what everyone else has what you use if you've ever crocheted like amigurumi with this yarn. So I'm an 8.
Last time I was on, I used a 10 millimeter, and that was it made the word I'm saying the sun that I made back there, but it was kind of like it was kind of holy a little bit, so I had to crochet really tight on the stream, and it worked. You know, it worked. It was just I wish it was better, basically. So I'm gonna try a smaller one.
Do you have like really tight tension?
You know, it really depends on the like week. I've noticed that I can like, well, I mean, obviously, like I can control it a little bit, but if I'm stressing, for sure, I'll look at like pieces that I've finished crocheting, and they'll be like this big when they're supposed to be like that big because I'm like freaking out about something that has nothing to do with crochet.
I feel you.
Bringing it into my yarn. Ooh, I need to use a
okay. Well, most people in the chat say 7 and 6. Wow, that's small. 7 or 8.
Tiny. I'm also going to use a stitch marker today because whenever I usually don't use stitch markers, but when I'm using this yarn, I lose my stitches so fast.
Oh, wow. Yeah, go for it. I'm not judging. Yeah, I don't have a stitch marker right now, actually, come to think of it. I don't really use it.
Yeah, you don't use stitch markers?
I should.
That's my problem too.
Lot.
I'm like, I should, especially in the video tutorials, I'm like, I gotta use stitch markers because...
Yeah. Well, I usually use like the middle tail from like the magic circle, and I like wrap it back and forth.
That's smart.
But yeah, you know, for the sake of live stream, let me go grab one. Or you know what? Here, we'll do this, okay? Got my red blanket yarn. I'm gonna use my Super Saiyan strength. There's my stitch marker right there. Okay. Okay, so, 1, 2.
I got a bazillion questions for you, but I'm gonna start with where'd you come up with Curious Papaya? I want to know where the name came from so bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Amy, and I started Curious Papaya back in 2018. Originally, my handle was Ami by Amy, so very characteristic of like craft by the name of the person. But then I think I was like dabbling in a little bit of like pottery and ceramics, and I wasn't sure what my account was going to be all about just yet. So I didn't want to like confine it to just amigurumi. Yeah,
Right.
it's a little bit interesting in that way. This is like before crochet like exploded off like, the handle
Yeah.
too. I think a lot of that is thanks to COVID and everything, like
Oh
everyone
yeah,
picking up
big
new
time.
hobbies during that time. Yeah, but then Curious Papaya, like I think I definitely wanted a name that embodied like fun, playful, quirky creations. I wanted a handle that was unique and my big thing, like no shade to accounts who do have, like symbols or numbers in their name,
Hmm.
but I wanted to be like I was limited in my choices because I wanted to choose something that wasn't already taken, so I didn't have to like add numbers
Yeah,
obviously or
totally.
something or underscores. I wanted to do something that like was easy to like remember and apply to all handles.
Yeah.
So I think I was thinking like, well, what are some like words that I would think describe me? Um, and I think as a very creative person, since I was very little, I love to be like I love to be like super crafty and build and design stuff, whatever medium it was. Um, yeah, so I was like, curious. I feel like curious kind of embodies that, what I was going for, what I just described. And papaya, I think it was like a very distinct core memory for whatever reason. We just finished watching Inside Out, the movie.
The
So I'm
new
thinking
one or
about core memories. Of like, no,
the original one?
I don't think the new one's out yet. Yeah, the
Okay.
first one. It just came out, I think, on the Disney, whatever, Disney
Yeah.
Plus. Yeah, and then I was like, oh yeah, like why is this such a core memory for me? But it was like back when my dad still lived with us, and he was like cutting open a papaya, and like if you've never seen one, obviously it's like quite a sight. I was I was like so intrigued, and I think I might have been like 6 or 7, I want to say. Yeah, and I was like, ew, what is that? Because like the seeds look like rabbit poo or
Yeah.
something, and it's like a really weird texture. So I just thought it was such a cute like concept name, and also that experience like really kind of describes how I got into this journey of like curiosity of something that was so
Totally.
different from what I was used to, and then giving it a try, and then like realizing that you love it,
Yeah.
and it's like my favorite, it's one of my favorite fruits, I want to say. But yeah,
What a
that's the
wonderful
long
core memory
extended
too.
version. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, papayas are definitely a very curious fruit. So it like definitely works. I can't think of
Lots
a
of
more curious fruit.
tropical, yeah.
Maybe kiwi. Kiwi's a weird one. But kiwi, I feel like everybody
That's
knows
true.
kiwi. Kiwi's in like, they got
That's
like the
right.
strawberry kiwi and stuff. But papaya is like
Oh.
one of those ones that's like, it's, it like, I don't think a lot of people know of papaya, but also
Uh-huh.
it is also a wonderfully delicious fruit. It's not like durian, like no one knows what durian is, but also durian's kind of weird. you know?
Yeah, so I didn't really grow up eating a lot of it. It's not as popular in like Korea or Taiwan, but super popular in like South Asian countries, right?
Sure.
But
Yep.
Costco just like, I think like last year they came out with like a durian ice cream, and people were like wiping out the shelves within moments. Yeah, they had to like limit people because it was so good. And that's like my first experience with durian, and it was so good. I was like, I am a fan. I was surprised at myself because I'm pretty picky.
Interesting.
I'm not very brave when it comes to eating like, yeah. I'm not a very adventurous eater, I should say.
Yeah, I am also I'm very bad at eating. I like to say a lot that like my parents did a really good job at raising me in every part except for food. I don't eat. Like and I don't have salads. I don't know if I've ever had a salad in my whole life.
What?
I know. I know. I feel like it feels very stupid, but also, I mean, I've had like bites of salads. I just don't like it. My problem is I don't like texture. I don't like. I like
You
mushy.
like mush. You like
Yeah.
to mush everything up.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly. I'm like a child. I like buttered noodles. No, I don't really.
To each their own.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, this guy is gonna be nice. Look at that's gonna be a nice big astronaut. I'm very excited. I've been
Yeah,
really
it's
getting into
funny.
making my stuff like bigger stuff recently. I don't really know what to do with it yet. Crochandro, thank you so much for the support. Oopsies.
Oh, that's so
Um,
cool. I This is my first time doing a YouTube live, so I didn't know that they could support you like that. That's cool.
yeah, it is neat. I need to I've been trying to like figure out how to like I want to start streaming on other platforms too, just to like see what happens. But um honestly, one of my favorite parts about this is setup. I for some reason I really enjoy getting all set up and like figuring out the technology part and then doing it all again the
Oh,
next week, like not remembering anything that I did. Um,
I've got to say you're pretty darn good at it. I mean, tech stuff is not my forte, but I make do, you know.
I find joy from it for sure. I don't know. I think it's just the joy from like figuring stuff out in general. Like I think that's why I really like
Mm,
crochet too. I really like figuring out
yeah,
how these knots and stuff work together. Um,
absolutely.
tell us about how you started crocheting though. I'm very curious about your whole crochet journey in general, and I mean, you know, we've both been in the game for a bit, and also from near the same area. You're up in San Jose, and I was in San Francisco for
Yes.
like the longest time. I can't believe we never actually hung out, but yeah. So tell us a little bit about how you started crocheting and your journey for that.
I would love to. Yeah, so actually, I had a background in elementary education and I was teaching here in the Bay Area for a few years. And I really loved teaching. I loved working with kids. They're the best. And I just, every now and then you have a class where, you know, the dynamics are a little more like higher need, I guess is the best way to put it. And it was definitely a really difficult year for me. Lots of growing. I feel like I am grateful for that year because it brought out a lot of great things about my learning about myself and also improving and just, you know, just knowing how to connect with all sorts of different kids and their families. And yeah, I feel like it was like because of how stressed out I was that I was looking for like a mindless hobby to kind of like devote all of my outside time to. And little did I know that actually crocheting was gonna like consume my life.
That it
It was an
really
accident
does.
how that happens.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is
I
pretty crazy that like that is the same. Anybody that is, especially any crochet influencers, but also like just people that really enjoy crocheting in general, we all I think
mhm.
understand that like after that first project when you're done with it and you're like, whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I don't know like anyone around me in person that knows how to crochet, so I had to rely on YouTube
Mhm.
and I would play it back at like a quarter of the speed, you know, and just like
Yeah,
really like try to follow all of their movements. I'd have to redo things over and over, getting mixed up with UK terms and US terms at the beginning and working in a spiral versus joined rounds, all of those things were like constantly messing me up. I was like, what did I sign myself up for? But yeah, after I finished a project, I think I just continued, you know, I just was so in awe of how you could like sculpt yarn almost
yeah,
like clay, right? You could make it different
totally.
shapes and everything. And like, to be fair, this was not my first experience with like fiber arts. Like when I was in middle school, high school, knitting was more popular. And so I would just make like the ugliest scarves. But I mean, it was like super fun, you know? And like, I didn't really know about crochet. Not a whole lot of people did.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, but amigurumi, I think, was definitely the gateway of like introducing a ton of people to it. So
yeah. I
yeah, ever
remember
since. Mhm.
I started when I started in high school. I I the first thing that I saw was amigurumi, and I was like,
Ooh,
I was already getting like really crafty in general, but then I saw something. I think it was like an octopus or something that was amigurumi, and I was like, wait a second, hold the phone. I can make toys out of yarn. Like I never thought about that. And as like a young like male, there wasn't a lot of like crafty things that I could make with yarn that I would be comfortable wearing. Like like there were sweaters that I thought were cool, but like I just realistically I wasn't gonna finish them, and I just wasn't really gonna wear them. But then when I found crochet and that like I can make toys, it just was like, oh my gosh, I want to make everything. And then the second when you're like, I wonder if I can make this, and then you realize you can, and you're like, wow, I don't know if there's a limit. Like I think I could make anything out of yarn now. I like to call it thready printing because it's like you really can make whatever you want out of yarn now.
That is so clever. That is true. Yeah. When I explain what crocheting is like to people, I always compare it to like 3D printing. Like you're going in layers and all that.
Mm-hmm.
3D printing. That's brilliant.
Thank you. What? So can you tell us a bit about how you came to Buzz here? How because this is I was looking through your patterns and I was like, wow, this one is kind of unlike anything that I've seen you publish recently. And I was like, wow, this is like really, really cool. I'm just really curious about your process of how you figured this pattern out and how did you come up with Buzz?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was talking and I realized I messed up, so I'm undoing that part.
Oh, totally fine. I
how
did
did
bring
I
up
come
the
up with
pattern. I'm
Buzz?
consistently looking at it.
Oh, I was like, I'm impressed. I can't do that. Yeah, that's a great question. So I actually, I've always wanted to make an astronaut, and I just didn't have the right opportunity for it. So I was very thrilled when you reached out about the theme and everything. I was like, yes, this is it, you know. And I wanted to like make him in my signature like chubby style, but also make him low sew as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like you do have to sew on, his like chest pad and his backpack thingy mabobber, but I tried to join the legs and join the arms in while crocheting. And yeah, I wanted him to be something that was like a way to introduce new techniques to people following along in the Crochet Along. Yeah, so one thing about me is like I think I just don't find the thrill in creating like super simple patterns. An interesting fact was like it was pitched to me to like work on a book with like a bunch of beginner friendly patterns, but like even though I was super thrilled about that, I like had to kind of like negotiate because I was like, you know what, to me that sounds like painting the same picture over and over again.
Totally.
I'm not the type of person who can find like excitement from that. It's like recreating a piece of art twice, right?
Yep.
It's just not how my brain works. And I think that also applies to like when I'm market prepping and whatnot. Like I'm the type to have I have to rotate between projects. I get the whole like, what's the word? Assembly belt. Like, like where people do things all in chunks and it's like faster that way to maximize their efficiency. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to like change it up to be like, to stay on top of like sharpening my creativity, I should say. Yeah. So anyway,
sharpening my creativity. That is such a good way to say it. I'm the exact same way. I make like I very rarely make the same thing over and over unless I'm doing like a pattern or something where like I have to make this thing like a bunch of times just to like know how to do it for the video and stuff like that. But the that's why I also make little miniatures so often is because I have a really hard time sitting there making the same project for like 8 hours and like finally being done with it. I'm like, okay, I need to be done with the project within, I think like 3 hours is usually my max. And that's probably why my live streams end up being exactly about that length and my patterns end up being like that length is because it works with my attention span. I definitely have like a low, but I also totally agree about your, I do not like crocheting things that are way too beginner friendly. At least I don't like doing it really often. That's why I
Yeah, there's a
love
time
this
and
season
place.
thing.
Hmm. I definitely do like the mindless makes for like it's a very specific mood. But
Totally.
overall, like even the kinds of like designers and patterns that I purchase for myself because I'm like, wow, I really want to make that. It's like I want it to tickle my brain, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I definitely get it.
yeah.
And I do have to say, this pattern is one of the most. I've crocheted a lot of patterns in my time.
Oh.
And this one is extremely unique. I have never really made. I've made stuff with like a few of the techniques that you use in it, but definitely never together in this way. The arms
Oh.
specifically were like that you unlocked a whole design idea in my brain where I was like, oh my gosh, yeah,
Oh.
duh, you could do all these things that like look like they're sewn together that definitely are not sewn together by just using this little quick technique. So it was very eye-opening, and yeah, this is why I just love doing collaborations so much and like working with other crocheters, because when you make the same, when you don't work, when you don't make other people's patterns for a long, long
Yeah.
time, you start to get like more and more into just doing the same thing over and over, and you don't realize there's other ways to do things, and that, yeah, you just totally opened my eyes to a whole new way of crochet,
Oh.
which is very, it's pretty rare nowadays
Thanks.
for me. So thank you, basically.
Oh, I'm honored. I'm honored. I hope people have fun following our tutorial too. And of course, if you guys ever find yourself stuck with questions, you can always reach out to the big man right here or
Yeah, that's
myself, of
definitely
course.
true. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you get stuck at any point, also that's what these live streams are also super helpful for. I mean, this one specifically might be a little less helpful because we're not in the light box, and I can't like just show you what's actually happening. Also, it's really hard to see what we're making when we're working with this blanket yarn. But uh, in next live stream, if you have any questions, I mean, obviously feel free to ask right now, but I will be able to show you actually how to do certain parts in the next live stream if you have very specific questions. I'm almost done with the
Oh,
mask. What do you do
cool.
with all your crochet? Because I do you sell? Do you do like do you do a lot of events and sell things?
Not a whole lot. Because I mainly design digital patterns,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really output that many things unless it's like for the design that I am selling, for the pattern I'm selling, I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm able to do like one show a year, possibly two if I like work for it. Um, but yeah, these past couple of years have been really difficult to like find that spare time to be able to do more.
Yeah.
But I always have so much fun doing it. I try to like aim for like the holiday seasons just because it's more worth the investment and the time.
100%.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what do I do? Most of them are stored in like really large clear containers in the garage or in like plastic bags.
Do your kids get a lot of
Because
them?
you know what? I would love to give them my makes, but the thing is, they don't care about it.
I'm
It
so worried about that exact thing, because like, so Jules and I are definitely at that age where it's like, okay, it's time. We're starting to like think about that kind of stuff, and I I have definitely an internal fear of like, what if my kid doesn't like all the little toys that I'm crocheting them because I'm gonna make them
they
so
know.
many things.
Oh, yeah. It's funny because actually a lot of designers say the same thing. I have a theory that it's like they've been around these since birth, and like when
It's
they're
not
infants, they're
exciting.
very curious and they're constantly told like don't touch that, don't, because it looks like a toy to them. But then it's actually our work, right? I don't want them to like be messing up all of my yarn displays and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like they know they're not allowed to touch it, but then all of a sudden you give them a toy to try to, get them to like warm up to it. And they're like, yeah, I'm not interested.
Oh, that's
Oh,
interesting. So you gotta.
that's my theory.
That is very interesting theory. Yeah, I definitely am a little like, I don't know. I definitely also think that having kids is going to completely change the way that I design and the things that I design, and like obviously it's going to change what I care about and stuff, which is why it'll do that. Did you find that it changed anything about your creativity in general, like having kids and like wanting to make things for your kids or anything like that?
Of course. I mean, like, for sure, I like, as a teacher too, right? In elementary school, I mean, I'm I feel very strongly about like open-ended play or like
Hmm.
interactive play. Things like play kitchens, things like, where there's a lot of dialogue, imagination, role playing involved. So I try to like have a little their playroom, bedroom. Um, we have like a little play kitchen. So like because of them, I was thinking like it's really important to me to have representation too, not only in my
Hmm.
designs but for my kids play area. I want them to have like play food that represents what we eat, as
Totally.
Taiwanese Americans. I mean, we're Taiwanese Korean Americans, but they're more Taiwanese than Korean, so I just, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, I tried to develop like foods that are some of my favorites, like my kimbap pattern, which is basically like people recognize it as sushi, but it's not really sushi because there's no like raw elements and the rice is prepared a little differently. But that's one thing I'm really proud of. And then like other kinds of, play food that represents their culture.
That is way cool. I love that. What a great like extra like depth to everything too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool. Is it mostly food? Because
Yeah.
I notice you also make a lot of animals. Does culture come
I know. I can't
into
pick a
that too?
lane. I just
Yeah.
yeah, so I feel like I've done everything in between too. I've done food animals, I've done large creations, I've done tiny creations,
Yeah.
and uh I guess that kind of falls in line with like what I shared earlier, that
Yeah.
I'm always looking for like a challenge
The
and
next
something
thing.
that's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think it develops like different parts of like crochet skill too.
Hmm.
It's taught me how to work with different materials and whatnot. And like if you were to compare it to a painter, which I was for many, many years, which is funny, it's like you could know oil painting like the back of your hand, it's drying time, it's like, you know, how thick it can get and how you
Sure.
build it. But if you were to change it up and tell them, here's like some watercolors, go for it. It's like they have the skills and techniques, but it's gonna be an adjustment,
Yeah.
and it's like you create different kinds of art. And there's different ways to create depth and stuff with that different material, even though both are considered painting.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's similar for
I think.
yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're totally right. What is so to that? What is
Mhm.
what's your favorite paint? What kind of yarn do you really like using the
Oh.
most, and what do you have the most time? Like, what is the biggest struggle? What gives you the most excitement? Like, that's like four freaking questions, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like, what kind of yarn do you really like to use? Because I really like using cotton, but I think
Yeah.
I. It seems like I'm a little bit of a rare folk in the crochet world, because I like talk to Drew Zoo a lot, and he's like, cotton kind of hurts my fingers a little bit. He likes the club crochet cotton because it's a little softer, but I know that's also kind of the case with a lot of people, is like they have a hard time with cotton, and I personally really don't like using
Uh-huh.
acrylic if I can avoid it. But sometimes the
Mm-hmm.
project requires a really specific kind of yarn, like a fuzzy yarn, and acrylic is my only option for
Hmm.
that, or whatever. Do you have similar
Yeah, yeah.
thoughts on stuff?
Gosh, that's so hard to say because it's like asking me, do I prefer sweet or savory
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
spicy? It's like, I like them all. It just depends on my mood. Um, yeah, I mean, my go-to yarn is Hobie cotton
Mm-hmm.
88. So it is also cotton, but I feel like using the yarn under your brand, it's a little bit different. It's like I feel like it's more like limp. Like it's more like it's not as structured
Oh yeah,
than when compared to like your brand. I don't know how else to
yeah.
put it.
No,
Um,
I totally agree. I kind of think of the cotton that I have as like
huh?
it's got a lot of structure to it. It's almost like it really is like sculpting with yarn when you use
Right.
the club crochet cotton.
Yeah.
Um,
And I mean, I do go for cotton usually because it's a lot more universal. Like
mhm.
people can substitute it with acrylic and come out,
Yeah,
produce something like reproduce my patterns with a lot of like there's more consistency.
Mm-hmm.
But I also love chenille, and particularly like giant jumbo chenille, just because you can do so many different things with it. Now I do feel like I'm like such a I'll put my foot down about this, like where I don't think you can transfer regular patterns to like jumbo weight yarn like completely without zero modifications. Like I feel like the way that the stitches work up with like super jumbo yarn is like
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit taller for
Yeah.
me. So like the gauge is going to be different. And I see a lot of crocheters on Instagram like just try to like, upsize something without any mods. And what happens is like their heads are really elongated, for instance.
Sure.
Because you do have to modify the number of rounds if you are changing up the yarn that you're using.
Yeah. Or control your
I
tension
mean,
really, like, well or something.
yeah, that
But yeah, you,
too. It probably doesn't bother most people, but for me as a designer, I'm like, okay, that's why I can't simply release the same version of, a pattern if it's made of
interesting.
different yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, anyway, I like both to answer your question. And here I
Yeah.
am using blanket yarn because I wanted to stash bust.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is also really fun. It's just to like, well, let's see what happens here. Yeah, I'm
Well,
curious.
blanket yarn is like so sturdy. So
It
like I
is,
like that it'll hold up if you wash it. Like
and it's
I wouldn't attempt throwing a chenille make into the washer.
yeah. Ooh, I don't know. I've never done that before. That probably would not turn out well. It probably would lose all its fuzz. But I don't know. That'd be an interesting experiment, actually. Yeah, I feel similarly. Definitely, I am just really starting to get into experimenting with blanket yarn more, because
Hmm.
I think I've made a total of maybe like 6 or 7 things with blanket yarn. Like very rarely do I use it, but recently, honestly, because it's just really fun to make big items. It's like, oh wow, this thing turned giant is like, wow, that's really cool, and it took like the same amount of time.
Yeah, there's like a higher reward for sure because it feels
Yeah,
like you're doing so much more.
yeah, exactly. But it is a little bit more difficult to use for sure. At least maybe it's just because I've been using cotton yarn for so long, but I definitely have a bit of more difficulty with it. Uh, yeah, very interesting though. I did have.
Hmm.
Let me see. I had a little document that I made to ask you. Oh yes. Okay. What are some other things that you're really passionate about outside of crochet? Because for me, when I started crocheting, like okay, cool, crocheting's my hobby. I really really like it, and then it kind of became my career. So it, I was like, I have an empty space for hobbies. Like I still need a hobby. Did you find something similar, or is it all crochet all the time now?
Gosh, yeah, it's kind of crazy because since it became my full-time thing, I feel like I haven't really put in time towards like having outside hobbies. I used
Yeah.
to do a lot of like hiking around the Bay Area. I used to do like pottery, ceramics, like I mentioned earlier. But the thing is, like with like ceramics, which I was like getting really into, it's like it's super time consuming. You have to like time out when your piece is like dry so you can trim them, so you can, glaze them, so you can do all the next steps. There's so many steps that goes into it. And like I kind of like moved away from it during the time where I got pregnant with my first, and then also I was like super like nauseous. I was like, I can't like keep up with this,
Yeah.
and then yeah, I just like never ended up going back after I found crochet because it allowed me to work out of, wherever I was.
Yeah. That's a
So
huge,
yeah, to
huge
answer
benefit.
that, I wish I could say more, but for now it's like this is like all I do
This is
for
all you do.
fun.
Yeah. How many thing? How many do you crochet like many hours in the day? Because people ask me that all the time, and I never really know how to answer it because it depends on the day for me. But I mean, I do
Uh-huh.
crochet every day at this point. But because
Yeah.
my projects are like, I don't know. Some days I crochet for an hour. Some days I crochet for like 8 hours. It just completely depends. Do you find that is
Yeah.
there ever a day that you don't crochet?
Extremely rarely.
Yeah.
So imagine like, so this has been my full time since last October. As in like I'm not watching my son at home while I'm working,
Sure.
that kind of thing. He started daycare last fall, mainly because he was getting to that age where like he really needed a lot more social interaction, and also like for my business the momentum was like growing and growing.
Hmm.
And around that time, actually early summer last year, when I was deciding like do I go back to teaching or not, like an opportunity came up where a publisher reached out with the book proposal that I mentioned earlier. I was able to like negotiate and come up with a different like theme that we were both happy with.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was a large part of the reason why I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna like pursue this full
Yeah.
time. It's no longer gonna be like a side hustle, like or like additional income on top of my main job.
Yeah. Totally.
It's yeah, and teaching too, it's not a 9 to 5. It's definitely not. You know,
Yeah. Teaching is a
you're
forever. It's like always.
yeah, and then like when you're addressing the emotional and social needs
Hmm.
of like tons and tons of kids. I had like 60 something kids in elementary school because we were like a dual immersion. So we had 2 classes a day.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
which middle school teachers are probably like, that's nothing, right? But the thing is, we don't get middle school prep. We get elementary school prep. So a lot of your work is outside of school hours, right?
Yeah.
So I knew I couldn't do both with 2 little ones under 3 and crochet and this. So I like made a choice there. Yeah, and so I definitely crochet almost every single day, but there are days where I'm like behind the computer
Yeah.
for way longer than I would like. That's because there's so many different hats to wear, right? Like
Definitely.
I
That is
am
something
my
that I
own
really wish
photographer.
people. Yeah, I wish people told me that more. That I mean, like people would tell you all the time. You when you're running a business, there's a lot of different parts, but like, my gosh, there's so many different parts that are outside of crochet. It's crazy. I mean, especially when it comes to like video
Yeah.
editing and social media and all this other. It's like, oh my gosh, all I want to do though is like make some funky looking dudes. Like that's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
if I had a choice to like delegate certain tasks that I enjoy less, it would definitely be a lot of the admin slash computer work.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, like my passion is in like actually creating the designs. But oh, so many hours go into editing, tech editing, photography, editing those
Hmm.
photos, um, creating listings, and like handling
Oh gosh,
customers' questions.
that is the
Uh,
part that I am the worst at. Is like I'm just so there's like especially last season in the Sweet Stitches season. There's like three
oh,
patterns I think that I did in the Sweet Stitches season that I didn't even put up for sale. I just put it up as a pattern on my like for members and stuff. But
oh,
that it's just that listing part of the job. I really 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 don't like doing it. I don't like doing that
wow.
administrative part at all. I like answering people's questions. I don't mind that. It's just like the act. Like it's so funny because I put all the effort into like the photos in the descriptions and like I put all this effort into it and then I don't do that last part. I don't do the last
I know.
important part, and I do that for so many different things. It's like a big. It's honestly something that I've actually wanted to talk to a therapist about. Is like finishing projects is a
Oh,
big problem for myself.
yeah.
I'm really really bad. I'm really good at starting things. I'm really bad at finishing things. So yeah,
That's like
actually,
a very characteristic ADHD brain.
yeah, I've never been officially diagnosed with it, but I would be pretty shocked if I didn't have ADHD. Um, like
Same
it'd just
boat.
be
Yeah,
pretty.
same boat.
Yeah. Um,
But definitely it was different though. I think during the time that I grew up, it was like very sparingly actually given as a diagnosis.
yeah.
And nowadays it's like they hand it out like hotcakes,
They do.
right?
Yeah.
Which is
And
also there's pros and cons to that. Like there are way more resources, I think, nowadays to help teach like coping mechanisms and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but it is difficult. I guess that goes into the realm of like, do you agree with medicating that early? That's
That's
hard.
yeah. My situation is definitely like, well, I've lived my whole life with this and undiagnosed, and
Mm,
like whether I have it or not, my life works and like I make it work
yeah.
for me. So at this point, I don't
Mm,
know if I really want to mess with it. I've got a system,
I
and
feel you.
it's a system that keeps me happy and keeps me productive. And
Mm,
like I figured out, I just kind of like have worked around this issue to make it less of an issue and like more of a pro than a con. Um, but I don't know. I also have never messed around with it. I've never
mm,
tried, to actually treat
yeah.
an issue.
No, I don't think it's necessarily something to treat, but it's more like how do we navigate the world that was not built for this,
Yeah.
like as you know what I mean?
Maybe
But
actually.
definitely, I feel like since working for myself, the motivation is so much higher,
Yeah.
and you can kind of like have flexibility and pick and choose what tasks you do when that wave of creativity comes,
Yeah.
right? And I definitely save like certain tasks for low energy days.
Yeah.
Like definitely had one of those yesterday, and there's like other stuff that influenced why I was feeling like just super low in energy and just like mentally as well. But
Yeah.
like I just allowed myself the time to let my body rest and kind of like not do anything that required so much thinking.
Yeah.
um yeah, so it's like just figuring out how to like listen to my body was really helpful so that I wasn't forcing myself to sit in front of the screen tech edit when my brain just could not sit there and focus.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I would just like get nothing done, I
Mm-hmm.
would be like super unproductive. I would be messy in my output. So it's kind of nice that you actually like we have the choice of like choosing when you want to do certain tasks.
Yeah, it is definitely the
Yeah.
biggest pro of running your own business is like choosing your hours. Honestly, for me, it's waking up when I feel comfortable waking up because I am like I was saying I was up till like probably 4 or 5 a.m. last night. That is very very normal for me. I am super
Yeah, I
duper
remember you
night
were
owl.
a night owl.
Like
Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
I was texting who was it? The Steven from Brochet. Uh
Oh,
uh yeah, he texted me at like 3:30 a.m. the other day and I was like, oh, "Another night owl like me?" And he's like, "Oh no, I was just getting up to go to the bathroom. You're crazy,
oh my
dude."
gosh.
And I was I was like, "Oh, yeah. Yeah." But I'm so much more productive. There's something about 2 a.m. for me is my most productive time in the entire day. I get I get the amount of work I get done between 2 and 3 is like the amount of work I normally would get done between like noon and 3. Like I can get 3 hours of work done in just 1 hour at 2 a.m. because there's something about like no
Noon
one's
to three.
awake.
I feel like that's not a productive time for anyone. That's like
Yeah, maybe that's
post
what it is.
lunch.
See
But what time
noon
do
to
you
3
usually
for
go to
me.
bed?
Noon to 3 for me is like post breakfast. um, yeah, I usually go to bed at like 4 or 5. That's my normal
Oh, okay.
bedtime.
Ah.
Yeah, it is definitely a messed up schedule. I'm both like I'm kind of excited for when we do have kids because I'm in the beginning of kids. I think this schedule will
Grab
be
stuffing. I'm listening.
Yeah, go ahead. In the
Yeah.
beginning of having kids, this schedule will be beneficial because me and my wife will have different we'll have different times when we'll be able to watch the kid. But at a certain point, I'm gonna have to fix this big time. I'm gonna have to have a full on shift in my brain. So
Oh, you'll
I'm
get
like,
there. Wait, did I hear you correctly? Did you say wife? Did you guys tie the knot?
no, you know what? I misspoke. Fiance currently. I was thinking about me in the future. We are getting married in
Okay,
August
got
though.
it. Oh.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
no way. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
was like,
very
I remember
excited.
you saying you were engaged, and I was like, oh, wait, married.
Yeah,
Oh goodness. Oh, congratulations. Everybody
thank
say
you.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm very very excited. We're doing
Mm-mm.
a house wedding here, and I'm just really really excited. At first I was like, yeah, sure, wedding, sure, whatever. And then when we decided to start planning it as like a house wedding, I was like, oh wait, this is actually really really exciting. We get to do whatever we want, and yeah,
Oh,
I've
I'm
just
so
been
happy for
getting
you,
every
Mom.
week. It's been more. I am getting more excited than nervous, so that is
Oh,
definitely a
that's
good sign.
great.
Yeah.
Yes. I always like say, everyone I know who's done like a smaller wedding has had zero regrets. But, I was like, oh, I was thinking about all the people that would miss out if we went smaller. Well,
Sure.
we had like a 170-person wedding, 180-person maybe. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, you didn't even get to talk to majority of your guests, but still
Yeah.
appreciated the celebration, of course. But yeah, I was like, I would have done a few things differently.
Yeah, it really came down to money for me. I
Yeah,
couldn't afford it, and I don't
I
want to
feel
like,
you.
like I just knew like if we did big and really pricey and I wasn't super excited about this, that would
Mhm.
be I was just worried about future for that. And we just don't honestly, realistically, we just don't have the funds to do a big wedding. So, yeah, I'm very very excited. Yeah, coming
Mm.
soon.
Keep it simple, right? It's like totally times are different now too, where like the
Hmm.
wedding industry is so marked up.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
just
it's
a
crazy, dude.
spam.
It's wild. I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we could do a wedding for like 5 grand, and then it's like, oh, you can't even get like a photographer. I was like, oh,
Yeah. I mean,
got
we
it.
had ours in the Bay Area. We got married in Fremont. And so, even though this was like 6 years ago now at this point, yeah, our wedding was like way over what I thought it was gonna be. But thankfully, see, this is where, my heritage, comes into play.
Hmm.
Like Asian weddings, they give cash,
Yeah.
so we're very, very grateful.
Did
It
you have a
paid for
lot of
itself,
people?
you know.
Did you have a lot of people coming out from Thailand
Taiwan,
or Taiwan?
yeah, we only had a few, like my mother-in-law, and then a couple of my aunt, her sisters. So like my aunt-in-laws, is that what you call it? I don't know.
Yeah,
Wait, no.
yeah, yeah.
I,
Like
is it
your
aunt-in-law? Wait, just aunt.
partner's
No, no.
your partner's aunt, right?
Wait, yeah. What do you
So
call
that would
that?
be, I guess that would be aunt-in-law or
I never thought
uncle-in-law.
about this.
Yeah, that's a weird
Yeah,
one.
I
That's a
mean, yeah,
weird
we
one
had a
that
few
never
of
comes
them.
up either. It's weird that I've
Yeah.
never thought about that.
Um, yeah, but not everybody was able to come. So we had a second like ceremony the year after.
Hmm.
And like, oh my gosh, it was so much more chill, way more less stressed. Cause,
That's so cool. You had a
yeah,
double wedding.
we did. Yeah, thankfully. I mean, my dad, oh sorry, my father-in-law wasn't able to come to like the main one.
Hmm.
And like, yeah, so that was like a big reason why I wanted to do a
That's
second one
huge.
for
Yeah,
him.
that's
Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure. Okay,
you
I
know what?
actually finished my face. Look at him. He's so
That's great.
cute.
I'm just finishing
So
up
cute.
the outer shell of the helmet. I need to do this
Yeah.
technique also way more often. I do not do enough times where I like completely make a outside for something, and then usually I like try to figure out
Oh.
how to make it so it's like all in one piece or whatever. But the how clean this comes out is was like, oh shoot, I need to start doing this way more often because
Oh,
it looks so good.
thanks.
I'm
Thank
telling you,
you.
Amy, like you really designed something special here. I really really like this
Oh,
pattern.
I appreciate it. That's so kind. I'm
Okay,
sewing
so
on my
are you?
ankle.
I'm guessing you're more of a morning person. Oh, also,
No.
did you need to head out soonish?
Oh yeah, it's already too hot. I can stay for like 10 more minutes.
Okay, cool, perfect. Um,
Yeah. Mhm.
then let's see. Is there any
I'm not a
questions
morning
that
person.
you're not a morning person?
I'm not. I don't even know. I'm always perpetually tired. I'm not a daytime person. I'm not really a nighttime person.
Yeah.
I do think my productivity is the highest when I am able to be alone. And I'm not the type who can like focus
Hmm.
with a lot of noise, like even music or TV. So like I will crochet in silence. I'm a
Really?
little weird like
Whoa.
that.
That's like you're a
Yeah.
psychopath. No.
Oh. Yeah, it really depends. I think there are times where if I'm doing something a little more mindless, I can
Yeah.
turn something on. But then once it gets down to like counting and stuff, yeah. So I'm impressed that I did this
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
talking. You saw me frog a whole ton of times, but that's okay, you know?
I think it's super cool. Okay, so since we only have a little bit of time left with you, is there anything you'd like to plug? Is there anything you'd like to talk about that you're working on, or that anything like that?
Wow, yeah. I mean, I mentioned earlier that I have been working on an amigurumi book for the last year, and it's actually open on pre-sale, but I haven't shared the link publicly yet because there were a few things I wanted to tweak with like the graphic designs, and
Mm-hmm.
I've been working with the publishers. It's kind of been like a slow process, but I feel like I'm just gonna share it. The cover image is not the final image; it's gonna look different, but the book is called Amigurumi Critters, and it's featuring 25 different animals. Yeah. Wait, you want a special sneak peek?
Absolutely.
Ooh, let me make room. Oh my goodness, you're going to be the first one to see this. Okay, let me grab it. I have not
I'm so
posted
excited.
anything.
Oh my gosh, guys, we
I
get
know.
first view. Wow, this is special.
You
I'm
guys
very
get the
excited.
first view because like I'm allowed to talk about it now. I keep all of them in this little yellow suitcase that I got. I thought it was
Oh
so
my gosh, you keep
fitting.
it in such a cute. I keep all my like things not like that. I keep them in like the
Oh,
worst,
gee.
ugliest boxes.
No, I bought this as like a prop. I'm like, this is gonna be oh, sorry, I almost knocked over my camera. Yeah, everything is in Ziplocs because I divided it by like habitat,
Sure.
but don't worry about that. So this is one of our little guys.
Oh
Little
my
bird to see.
gosh.
It's my little spider. My capybara friend is also in the book. His
Adorable.
gloss is orange. This is my sea
Whoa, I
turtle.
love the back. That's interesting.
Thank
Super
you.
unique.
It's made with an African flower, I think is the pattern. This is one of my personal favorites.
Oh my
He's a
gosh.
little pug, a little squat pug.
Whoa, it's made like sideways. Or like, that's interesting. Oh my gosh.
Thanks. Oval spiral. It's like the same concept that I used for
For the
the
foot?
astronaut's feet.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Change my view here. So what else do I have? I got this guy. A little koala.
Oh, that's
And
so cute.
people
Does it have are the arms like sewn together, or is it like, do they connect or something?
they could have been like connected with magnets, but this one I did sew together. And then he holds my hooks and stuff.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah,
so
that's
cute.
Koa. Yeah, we've got little Gertrude mods as well. And my little sloth.
Oh, cute. I like the
Let's see.
sloth. That's a very unique. I like it. I like how it looks. I like how long
Thank
its
you.
arms
And
are.
then this one I'm really proud of. This is my shark.
Wow, color changes
Little, yep, color
for the
changes.
belly. Whoa, that looks like it took
Yes.
some time to figure out it right, like the color
Hey,
changes.
I had so much help from a really good friend of mine, like who was testing the pattern, and like she pushed me to like make it even better. So I was like, okay, all right. So I had to rewrite the color changes and everything, and she helped out a ton too with like giving honest feedback on what could improve.
That is
So I'm so
so
cool.
nice. It is so helpful having someone that will give you legitimately honest feedback. I don't want, like, all the time I ask people for feedback, and this goes for everybody in the chat. You never have to worry about offending me. I would be much rather getting legitimate feedback than, oh my gosh, that fox is so cute.
Oh yeah. Sorry to cut your
No,
your
it's all
speech
good.
off there. Yeah, thank you. This is our little piggy. He's this is like constructed with the same base pattern as the pug.
Yeah,
But
that
yeah.
is such a unique way to put things together. So is it like, I mean, we'll have to wait for the pattern to come out, honestly. But it is very the limbs. So are the limbs kind of connected in a somewhat similar way as the astronaut's legs are?
No, it's different. It's made from top down. And then
Yeah.
like from the body that's an oval, I divide it into 4 sections for each of the limbs.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get this
Yeah.
book and find out more. That's so
Oh, thank you.
super
I know I'd be
unique.
happy to send you one. I think there's a lot more in here, but last one. Little panda.
Adorable.
The
Oh my
feet
gosh,
on
there's
this
so
one are a
many
little
of
bit
these.
similar.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 25 in here. I know. Yeah. Anyway, this is what I've been slaving away in. When you're like, do you crochet every day? Like, yes. Like 12 to
Yes. A
14 hours
lot.
a day.
Yeah. So are you gonna try to just keep at least, because I always try to keep at least one copy of everything I make, the best copy usually, and then the rest of my like either sell or give away. Looks like you have a lot of stuff there now. Is that just gonna live? Do you think it's gonna live in the suitcase for a long time, or do you think you're gonna give them to as
Yeah.
toys?
No, absolutely not. No.
Yeah, same.
I know. Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of like, would you give a painting to a child to play with or something? And the
Yeah,
answer would be no.
I know,
Is
and
that
no one ever understands,
important?
especially people that don't understand crochet, and you're like, no, I spent like as much time on this as I would a legitimate painting. I can't just give this away to someone.
Yeah, no, my hope is to reproduce all of these or maybe a handful of the favorites in like chunky yarn. And I hope I can keep these. They're small enough to keep. And they'll definitely be in my possession for quite a while, just so I can
Yeah.
like do promotional stuff with them too and rephotograph them if I need to.
I
But
also always think
eventually,
like,
maybe, yeah.
oh, sorry, I keep interrupting. I was just
No,
gonna
not
say,
at
I
all.
also kind of think that eventually, uh, I like to think, oh, you know what? If I keep this, eventually my kids will have kids and will be like, your grandfather made this, and then it'll be like special again, because I kept it
Yeah, I definitely
perfectly.
have a couple. Yeah, I have some that I'm going to set aside, of course, that'll always live with us. But yeah, for the most part, for like the things I make for patterns, that one show that comes around each year, like one market, I should say,
Hmm.
if I don't need it anymore, I'll sell it. And then if I need to remake it or I want to remake it, then I will.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Well, way cool. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to? Oh,
Thanks.
go check out Curious Papaya on all the social medias
Oh,
also. Um, uh,
thank you.
they're at Curious Papaya everywhere. I noticed. Did you? I don't know if you just started a TikTok or not. I just like started to utilize the TikTok. I'm so bad
Oh,
at it.
yeah.
But I think you're also on TikTok. You're definitely on YouTube. If you want to check out Curious Papaya on YouTube, by the way, guys, all you need to do is go in the title of this. I actually tagged her in the title. So if you just click that, it should take you to her YouTube channel. And I
Oh, thank
think you
you.
just came out with a video, right? About like a bunch of spring patterns or
Yeah,
something?
I did
Yeah.
like a summer roundup, 60 free patterns, just highlighting some other wonderful creators in the community. I kind of
Yeah.
curated it according to like my own personal likes and preferences
Totally.
too, like things I would wear or things I would make. And so, yeah, just a way to uplift the community here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Awesome. Well, yeah, check
Yeah.
out Curious Papaya there. Is there anything else you want to talk about before you got to rock and roll? And also, by the way, guys, this will not be the last time we see Curious Papaya. We got some other
Aw.
things in the works, so
Yeah.
keep a
No,
lookout in the future.
just one to answer the chat here. They're asking when will the book be for sale, when it'll come out. It actually comes out next January, I believe, possibly sooner, but I think right now we're aiming for next January. And Louie, I can send you like the pre-sale link. I haven't publicly shared it yet because yeah, like I said, I was waiting for the graphics to be updated, but at
Yeah.
this point I'm like, you'll get the same product. And I believe I
Yeah.
saw it was like resale price for like $12.99, which I was a little surprised by. I thought it was going to be more, but my
Yeah, it
publisher
seems
said they
really
don't have
low.
any control. Yeah, that's really cheap. That's great for you guys. I will have to
And you're
check
like, but
in
also I
about
want more.
why.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, my publisher said they don't have control over that because it's like Amazon or something that I don't know. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'll send
books
you.
are weird, and like the publishing world is also very strange. We'll have to talk about that some other time because, especially for
Certainly.
crocheters, that is a huge part of the crochet community now. In general, is publishing, and I don't.
Mm,
I think a lot of crocheters don't. I think there's a lot of crocheters out there that get taken advantage of by bad publishers. So it's good to
mm,
like look out for like, okay, what is it? What does a good publishing deal look like? Stuff like that. So that's another topic for another time.
it's true.
But it's a
Absolutely.
very unique thing to think about. Look, I even got the little. I think I
Yay!
might move this one over a slightly because I think I made it a
Oh,
little high, but it's not bad.
no
I
worries.
like it.
I think it looks so good. I love the darker blue.
Yeah, I didn't have the light blue, so I was like, you know what? We're gonna go dark blue because that's all I got really
Oh,
got. So we'll see
it
how.
looks
I
so
mean,
pretty.
this is it's gonna be a big boy. So we'll
Yeah.
go ahead and finish up Buzz on the rest of this stream today. Thank you so much for joining, Amy, and thank you so much for making this a wonderful pattern. Again, guys, we're gonna keep going in just a second, but if you want to check out this new pattern from Amy, aka Curious Papaya, you can find it at clubcrochet.com/astro, and check out Curious Papaya all over the internet. You can find a link to her website, I believe, in the description, and her YouTube channel on the title. Cool. Thanks so much for joining again,
Thank
Amy.
you.
We'll see
Thank you
you
for having me.
in
Bye,
probably a few
everyone.
months for a
Yeah,
secret
fingers
thing.
crossed.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right.
All
Bye.
right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Okay, team. 1 second. 1 second. We're gonna go like this. Look at that. Wow. Okay, wait, can we hear me? I think we can. I need to take these headphones out. The only reason they were in is because it was like kind of doing a weird sound thing. So sound might get weird for just a second. Let's see. Boop. Boop. Okay, starting there. Looks like sound is still kind of happening. Ba, 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 ba. One. Okay. Did the music stop? Sure did. Is the music going now? We'll go find out. We'll go find out. No, it's not. See, I knew I was going to do this. I knew I was going to goof it up. Aha! Did it get too loud? That is pretty loud. Hold on. One moment, please. I need to turn the music down on my computer. All right. There we go. Okay. Now we can turn that back up. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining, by the way. Super thanks to Amy. They had something they had to rock and roll with, but it was really great to get a chance to talk with them and crochet this pattern with them. And we still got a lot more crochet to do. So we're going to put this right here. We'll start collecting in the background, maybe. Actually, we'll put it right here. So let's keep on keeping on. Hey chat, hey everybody, how you been? Sorry, we didn't get a lot of time to talk to the chat, but you know, we had to talk to Amy. We gotta get some our Amy time in. Really quick before we get going, I definitely need to show you Jimbo right now, because my cat is crazy cute, and he is super asleep. Get ready. I'm gonna do this really quick, and we're gonna fix this camera afterwards. Look at that. Look at that. That was on the other side of this camera the whole time. The whole time? The whole time? I mean, crazy. That's crazy. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, that's all. I just want to show you that. Now let's get the camera back set up and hope that we didn't mess it up too bad. I think that's about the same, right? I probably should have seen where everything was gonna be. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, he's just a baby. He's so cute. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was really exciting. I love talking to other crocheters and finding out a bunch of just info from other crocheters about how they crochet. And Amy is no different. You know, we're all All us crocheters have very similar mindsets, it seems. Where is the end of this yarn? Because we need to now start. I have finished up the head. Oh, except for the ears. I forgot about the ear covers. So, you know, we might add the ear covers later because I just want to keep on crocheting on. And it's the only part that really uses gray, and I don't have gray right now, so we might use gray in a different kind of thing. Jack, Tina, hey Jack. Tina says hi. Okay, well, he's listening. He's right there. Do I play guitar? Do I like playing guitar? I don't actually play guitar. I play a lot more ukulele, and I haven't played it in like a month or so, but I used to play ukulele a lot. And I really like playing. So yeah, I play ukulele, and I used to play accordion, a lot of accordion. But this is actually a bass. That's actually an acoustic bass that is Jules's, and we needed a place for it. And I was like, I like looking at that. Put it here, and I do play it every now and then, but it's not. I'm not very good at it, to be honest. I have a friend that comes over every week and hangs out. One of my best friends, Andy, and he comes over and plays it, and it's really fun. But yeah, I'm not the best at it. Sorry, the sound's gonna get kind of weird for a second. There we go. I just needed to move the mic a little bit. Yeah, go check out more of Curious Papaya's stuff. They make very, very cool work, and we're gonna have a bunch more patterns coming out throughout the next few seasons with Amy. So keep a lookout. We were just talking about it last night. What are some other patterns we can work together on? So I'm very excited about that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they're gonna help out with some dino stuff too, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Oh my gosh, Kayla, you have a cat that looks like my cat, but is named Lewis? That's named my name? Did you name it after me? There's no way. There's no way. That is so cool. I love that though. Question from earlier. What tip do I have for seeing the stitches when you're using dark blanket yarn? I'm trying to crochet with black and I can't see my stitches. Okay, this is actually great. This is a great question. So that is a problem in general that a lot of people, including myself, have with using blanket yarn. It's not just the dark yarn. It's like any kind of blanket yarn can be really difficult to use, especially if you can't see it. So my tips are this. First tip, and this one is kind of a difficult tip to implement, but it's super duper useful. It is to crochet with your feeling rather than sight. It can be difficult. It takes time to practice, but if you can feel where your stitches are gonna be rather than see them, that's gonna help you out a lot, like a lot, with this yarn, because it won't matter. There's not gonna be any. I do have one more tip that might help a little bit, but like really seeing your crochet isn't gonna help. It's gonna be there's not gonna be a lot of ways to make it easier to see your crochet. That being said, here is one tip I have for seeing your crochet better, and that is to use more than one stitch marker. So use a stitch marker for just a few stitches away from each other, or yeah, basically like if you're consistently using a stitch marker in like where increases are supposed to be, you know, like let's say you single crochet 6 and then you're going to increase up to 12, so you know that like you're consistently going to be doing like 6-ish increases every round. Hold on, I wanted to try to make this bigger. Then you're probably going to want to use a bunch of different stitch markers so you know where those increases are going to be. That will help out a lot when it comes to crocheting with yarn that it's very difficult to see with. Yeah, so that is probably the main tips I have. chat, are there any other tips that y'all have for crocheting with Chanel yarn so that you can deal with the fact that you can't really see where your stitches are? I guess another thing is when I'm going into my stitches, this is a very specific tip, but when I'm going into my stitches, instead of like, I poke like down, you know, like down towards the center of my crochet, and it helps make sure that I get under all those stitches. That can be extremely helpful for when you really are having a difficult time seeing your stitches. 1, 2, 3. Speaking of counting your stitches, also extremely helpful. Like I was saying in the beginning of the stream with Amy, I pretty much need to use a stitch marker. Even if I'm not using like a bunch of stitch markers and stuff, at least using one stitch marker to know where the end of the round is can at the very least help make sure you don't mess up your count. Because if you mess up your count on a round because you can't see the stitches, you might not even know you messed up your round for a while unless you're like actively counting your stitches. So yeah, there's some good tips, but I'm very curious to see if the chat has any other tips for that. Zoe says, I love Amy's comment about giving your makes to children. I get a lot of people at markets wanting to buy my big dragons for their kids, but I have to explain that they're not they're a sit on the shelf toy. They're not really a toy, squishy toy. I totally agree with that. It is difficult to like explain that to someone. I also, though, that is one reason, however, why I really am stoked about games like Stitched and things like that, where you can actually like, use your. I think that's why I like making my figurines like tinier, too, and having like a utility to them, like a game, is because of that exact thing. It's like, yeah, I make a lot of stuff where like they sit on the shelf, but it'd be really cool if I had like a purpose for these things, which is where the games that I've been designing come into play. Speaking of, I'm working on a board game right now called Lava Run. You can see the volcano right there. If you want to learn more about it, I'm currently trying to find more people to test this game out. I'm also just looking for people to like join the that are interested in this game to check it out. So if you want to learn more about Lava Run, you can find more at just lavarungame.com. I have it on I made a really cool website for it. I did a bunch of cool art for it, and I think it's really cool, and you should check it out because I'm really proud of it. Yeah, it's a board game where you're going to be controlling a dinosaur and helping him escape a volcano. We're going to be releasing it probably in September. And when I say we, I mean me. So it is just me doing this. So any support would be extremely helpful. Even just checking out the page I made for it. Whoa! Crochanter said they were doing a market and a kid came up and took a bite out of one of their creations. Yay. That's no fun. Yeah, that is definitely something that I have found at many markets is like learning to control children. It's very difficult. That's why I usually have pieces out that I'm like, I don't care if a kid picks this piece up because it is not my favorite version of it, or I have another one, or this was one that like a kid already has ruined, so I'm gonna keep it out anyhow. It's gonna get messy, and that's just the way it's gonna be. Yeah, that can be difficult though. I've actually been considering doing an event where I have things out for sale, and I just I actually put them in under like glass things so they look more like they're figurines that are like special, because I think that I think that'll help me sell my pieces a little bit easier, because I have a kind of a difficult time selling my pieces for as much as I want to sell them for, because they're little tiny crocheted pieces. Like, not a lot of people take them seriously because they think they are toys, and it's like, yeah, kind of, they're toys, but they're also pieces of art. So yeah, so that's something I've been considering, and it also would prevent kids from coming and messing with my work. But yeah, this is something I thought of. Do we have a Pigeon update? Not yet. Zoe, we are looking for a pigeon update. For those who don't know, Zoe has a couple of baby pigeons, or maybe just one baby pigeon now, and we've been getting weekly updates about it. So I'm curious to see what, if anything, is new with the Pidge. Oh, we're getting a pigeon update. Okay. Ooh, yeah, spicy Skittles. I definitely need to find more conventions to go to. I have a difficult time doing that. But yeah, I definitely want to find a few conventions that I could go to help. I got Jules's hair in my crochet. I definitely want to look into that though. It's something I've been trying to figure out. I feel like I missed all the big conventions because like the last one was Gamma, and that was in April, I think. So yeah, I don't know. I need to find some. If you guys have any suggestions for specific events, I'm definitely all ears, looking for something. Okay, 1, 2, and then a decrease. By the way, if you're crocheting along with us, I'm working on the arm right now. You can see the little thumb. Zoe update. The baby. Okay, so we got. Last we heard that the baby pigeon from Zoe's backyard had mites, and Zoe went in and helped clean the baby up and made it all purty. And the newest update is that the baby is still mite free, and she has started to venture out of her mayo bucket nest a little. Oh my gosh, they're nesting in a mayonnaise bucket. That's cute. That's so funny. That's a very pigeon thing to nest in, is a mayonnaise bucket. That's hilarious. SaltCon. Okay, that's a great one. I'm gonna write these down as we go through them. SaltCon. I'm guessing that's in like Salt Lake City, maybe, which is close enough, I think, for me to drive to. Yeah, SaltCon. Okay, let's get back to crocheting. We got a lot of crochet to do. I don't know. I hope we have enough time to finish this today. We might. It might be a tight turnaround though. 1, 2. Did I do a decrease here? I can't even tell. I'm gonna go back because I don't even know if I did a decrease. No, I didn't. Good thing I'm going back. Yeah, I definitely need to look into more of these conventions. But yeah, I had another big idea for another game yesterday, or maybe a couple weeks ago now, realistically. But like, so basically how ideas for me work a lot of times, especially when it comes to games, is like I'll start the idea in the back of my brain, and it'll just germinate there for like weeks until I write everything down in a Google document that is super duper long. So I have like all these Google documents right now that are like legitimately 20 pages long that outline a full idea. Here's how the rules work for this game, or like here's the plan for the marketing for this game. Blah, blah, blah. I just get like way too involved in it, which is also to bounce back to the ADD thing. That's definitely also kind of ADD-ish. I get like hyper fixated and then leave a project halfway done. So I'm really trying to fix that. And if, by the way, if you want to keep me accounted for, what's the word? Not accounted for, but honest? That's not really the word I'm looking for. If you'd like to help me make sure that I finish projects on time, call me out on stuff. For example, I'm going to call myself out on this. Last week, we did a Saturn pattern. Saturn pattern? Oh my gosh. That rhymes. And I didn't get it on the website in time, and I'm really sorry about that. So if you were watching last live stream and you're really looking forward to this pattern being on the website, I'm sorry. I should have got it on the website sooner, and I really meant to do it last night, but I got so fixated on working on this live stream setup that I didn't get a chance to. So I'm sorry about that. Feel free to call me out on certain stuff like that. Just please be patient with me because I have a bazillion projects that I'm working on. But I will let you know that that Saturn one is one that I'm actively, I know, and I really want to get it onto the website tonight. I just kind of wanted to make a few little changes to it. So I needed to like put a little effort into it before I just uploaded it on the website. Yeah, just letting you know. I am also aware that I'm bad at doing things. Okay, one arm is done, I think. Decrease down to 6. And then 2 rounds of single crochets. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Let's see how it goes. I'm just gonna pull it all the way through. Yeah. I'm sorry, Celia. I definitely messed up that. And yeah, I'm working on it. It's a process. Oh shoot, I forgot I'm supposed to take a stitch out. Right? Yeah, add or undo. Yeah, so we're gonna undo 1 stitch here. Astronaut man. Oh, and baby is practicing her flaps, and mom and daddy Pigeon really appreciate the bird bath I put out for them. Oh, that's so cute. I really love that, Zoe. That is so awesome that you have like this little... Oh my gosh, how did I mess this up so bad? Wait, hold on. See, herein lies the problem with the chenille yarn. Is I can't see my stitches, and I'm having a hard time undoing a stitch right now. Because I pulled it all out. There we go. I essentially just knotted something up. I shouldn't have. Hold on. There it is. Got it. There we go. 1 arm. Let's add it to the head. Boop. All right, we got another arm to make. And now that I've made our first one, I think it'll be a lot easier to make a second. I appreciate the patience a lot, Celia. Thank you so much. Zoe says, "Oh, Louie, my buddy that makes polymer clay gnomes and hides them around town wants to go to war with me and the goblinoids I've made. It's gonna be epic." Oh my gosh, Zoe, please send pictures. Okay, this is... So, look at you. You're great. Okay, so this is a great opportunity for me to ask you all. I am currently on the lookout for other creators, whether that's crocheters or preferably actually outside of even the crochet community, that would be interested in making dinosaurs for Lava Run. Because the way that I'm kind of trying to format this game is that you can make your pieces out of whatever you want. You know, you can crochet them, or you can make them out of clay, or you can make them out of origami, or Legos, or blah, 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 blah. So if you have anybody in mind that is a creator that makes little figurines, specifically definitely like an influencer would be great, but also just like anybody that makes a little, that would be interested in making little dinosaurs, please let me know, and just let me know who they are, and if you have any contact info for them, go for it. But also just like, you know, you should reach out to @blah blah blah. That would be enough. I'm just looking for people that I can collaborate with for making tiny dinosaurs for the game. because I just think it'd be a lot of fun, is to have dinos in a bunch of different styles. So yeah, any people in mind, please let me know either in the chat or reach out to me directly. You can email me at louis@clubcrochet.com. That's my personal email. And yeah, if you want to reach out for any reason, whether that is this or something else, go for it. I am there. Go. All right, we're doing this one without a stitch marker, so wish me luck. Yeah, I think so. One thing I want to do, Crochandro, because you just said, I know you don't have a lot of followers, but I'd like to make one. Yeah, I'm looking for, basically, I want just to get a bunch of pictures of different dinos made different ways from different people. So yeah, like if you would like to crochet dino and send me a picture of you with your crochet dino, or even, it doesn't need to be you in the picture if you're uncomfortable with that. If you would like to be in the picture, that'd be awesome. I'll put you on the website. But if you don't want to be on the website and you don't want your face on the website, just show the little crochet dino off. I'm trying to get like a collection of them to share and talk about, basically. Does the dino have to be your own creation? No, it could be any kind of, like, it doesn't have to be my pattern. I mean, that's cool if you want to crochet a dinosaur using my pattern. Obviously, you definitely can do that. You just don't have to, if you don't want to. Oh, that reminds me also of something that I wanted to announce today. Big announcement for those watching. We're doing another challenge. The Club Crochet Challenge is coming back next week. So, on the 15th, I believe, is when I have it planned. But yeah, next week-ish, we're going to start the next Club Crochet Challenge. It's going to be alien abduction. You can crochet an alien, your own alien in your own style and your own vibe. So if you'd like to join and crochet an alien, you can use the pattern on the website. You can use the pattern. You can use your own crochet pattern that you make up. You can use someone else's crochet pattern. Just make sure to tag them in the post that you do for it. Now, it's not open yet. So, you know, that's like kind of a preview there. But if you want to get started on it, you totally can. You're going to have till the end of the season-ish. So about the end of July to, mid-July to finish your project up. So, yeah, you got some time. I just wanted to let you know that that is part of the plan, and I'm putting the effort into that challenge ASAP, so that should be coming soon, very, very soon. Just want to let you know. All right. This pattern is so fun, you guys. It really is. It's very, like, it's a complicated pattern, like, compared to the other ones in the season so far, but it is really, really fun to make. A very unique construction. Two, and then decreasing. Two, then decrease. Oh no, Celia's yarn barfed and got all tangled up. That makes things difficult. Gotta clean up the yarn barf. A pigeon astronaut. Pipliopoplifly. Pipliopoplifly? That is so much fun to say. What are you even talking about, though, Tina? Pipliopoplifly. That's funny. I don't think I messed this hand up. It's famous last words, right? 2. All right, one more stitch. Count my stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're good. I'll tell you, one thing I do like about this blanket yarn is I don't need to cut it. I can just break it. Uh-oh, the beast is awake. We've awakened the beast. Oh, they went back to sleep. Good. Good. Okay, arms are done. Next up is, what, legs? I think it's time to start getting the legs in the body. Cool. Legs. Leggy, leggy. Lego. My ego. How's your guys' week been, by the way? What you guys been up to this week? I have been, let's see. I went to an improv show last week. That was a lot of fun. I've been watching a lot of the Fallout show on Amazon. That's been amazing. We're gonna watch the last episode tonight. I'm so excited. No spoilers if you have watched it. Fine. But I will say, if you haven't watched it, go check it out. It is so good. I need to keep this pattern up. I think my eyes are getting worse. Now we're good. Whoa, Raish is in Italy, and you're watching the stream from Italy? That's so cool. Well, ciao. Ciao is both hi and bye, right? In Italian. See, I should know this. I am Italian. I'm half Italian. And I should really know how to speak Italian. I've been kind of considering, so I've been doing Japanese for a while on Duolingo, but I really want to switch things up and try a different language. And I was strongly considering Spanish for a long time. But I have recently been considering Italian because I am Italian, and it would probably be a nice thing for my ancestors to just know I can communicate with them when I see them in the I don't know, in the not afterlife, when we get out of the Matrix. Let's go with that. Okay, 1, 2, and then increase. Got it. One, 2. I think it's just 1 in every stitch, yeah. Grace is about to crochet a dino. Or should you crochet a Waddle Dee? Ooh, a Waddle Dee or a dinosaur? I think a dinosaur would probably be easier than a Waddle Dee, just because of like the belly and the face of the Waddle Dee. But I don't know. That's up to you. Yeah, I think I need to start working on the new dino designs. Currently, I am between a few different ideas for the next dinosaur that I want to design. That's the last stitch. Boo. I'm considering the Pachycephalosaur, which is the headbutt buddy dinosaur. I'm gonna do either that one, the Spitty dinosaur. I want to do that. I want to do a baby brontosaurus, or a I can't remember the name of this other one. It's like the duck-billed one. Philosopherovers. Crochandro is making a An Alberta dromius. Wow, what a name. Hoi, oi, oi. Let's see what that is. I'm learning a lot about dinosaurs. Alberta dromius. Let's see. Oh, okay. It's like a kind of like a raptor-looking dino. Like a classic dino. Ooh, a quatzec. Oh, I don't even know how to say that one at all. Croissant? A croissant? No, a quadz. Did you just know? Okay, so it's like a giant, like a really, really big pterodactyl. Really big. Or something from when mammals were first evolving. Ooh, that's a fun idea. That could be just a fun, like, I could see a continuation of this thing of being like Rise of the Mammals or something. 1, 2, and 3. Boom. This will be the last stitch. That round. Cool. And then we want to change to red yarn. Look at, there's a little foot started. It's kind of hard to see. Okay, see you later, Raish. Enjoy Italy. That is so fun. How cool is that? Going to Italy. I want to go to Italy. Jules and I were considering Italy as our honeymoon, but I think we want to do something more chill for our honeymoon. So we were thinking about doing like a beach kind of honeymoon, because I've never done a vacation like that, of just like a relaxation vacation. Personally, all my vacations end up being like, ooh, let's see this new place that I've never been to. Let's go to all the different parts of it and like book out all of the time that we're here so that I don't have any time to chill out. So I've never really had a chill vacation. So she was like, what do you think about going to like Costa Rica or something and just hanging out on a beach? I was like, I'm into that. I've never done that before. I didn't even consider it. So yeah, I'd be cool with that. All right, back over to our white yarn. Boom. I am getting a bit hungry. I realized I should have eaten before I started the stream, but I didn't do that, did I? I should have, but I didn't. Because I woke up too late, because I stayed up too late. Oopsies. 1, 2, 8, 3. All right, Grace. See you later. Enjoy watching your dinosaur tutorial. Good luck. Okay. The foot's coming together. Next up is to increase. 3. 8, 9. Okay. Next up is to crochet a little bit more so that they are on opposite sides of each other. Okay, so let me see here. Yeah, so I need it to be over here, the tail end. One, 2, and 3. Jimbo is now hanging out in his little box. I have a little shoe box that I put together for him, and he loves it. He sits in it all the time. It's because I put it right next to the window so he can watch out the window too. It's so cute. All right. Leg 1 done. I actually can keep this first leg nice and close because we're going to come back to it in just a moment anyhow. We almost have all of our pieces done though. I just need to start putting it together. But astronaut's coming together. Will I ever get another cat? So, I have a personal rule, which is no more cats than we have space. So, it depends on the amount of room we have. If we have a 2-bedroom, which is what we're currently in, it is 2-bedroom, then we can only have 2 cats. Also, though, I don't want to get... I feel like 3 cats is so many cats. You know? 3 cats feels like a lot of cats. But I don't know. I've never owned 3 cats before. And I do think that while I think Jimbo would absolutely love another cat, Phoebe would not. I think Phoebe already isn't super excited about sharing her house with another cat. But she wasn't here first. Jimbo was. So, you know, she got used to it real quick. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it would be... I feel like Phoebe would really have a hard time with this, with a 3rd cat. Maybe though. Maybe though. Yeah, you just... Yeah, we never... Yeah, Phoebe doesn't come out very often. Can I show you... Oh, you want to see Jimbo in his little box? Yeah, sure. 1 second. Don't go anywhere, bud. Hold on. They want to see you. They want to see you. Hold on. It's a mess. There he is. Look at how cute he is. He just sleeps in there. What a baby. He's just a little baby. I'm just a little baby. Anybody know what that's from? I do that. I quote that all the time. Oh, Ron. Don't get rid of me. I'm just a little baby. You're gonna have so many cats when you have your own house. Oops. Let me fix the camera a little bit more. How's that? Is that better? I feel like I'm really low now. A little bit down. Like that. Maybe? Yeah, that works. I know, right? He's so cute. Just a little sleepy baby. Yeah, I wish I had... The camera that we're currently using is my... what I usually use for the cat cam, so I can't really use it for the cat cam right now, but yeah, he's very cute. I lost my count, guys. I lost it. Slip stitch 2, 3. Six. 9. Cool. Okay, 1, 2, and then a decrease. Oh, hey, Sunshine! Welcome to the stream. We are currently making an astronaut. Here we have the head. We got arms. We're gonna have 2 of these arms. It's gonna go like this, kinda. And then we're currently working on the second leg, and we're gonna put these legs together and connect them together to make a body. If you want to get the pattern, by the way, it's right there. clubcrochet.com/astro. 1. Oh, I forgot. I also started doing something else this week. I started playing a game called Not Another Crab's Treasure. And you guys, it is so cute. I'm totally obsessed. Hold on. I lost track of where I was here. 1, 2, and then 3. The start of this song always makes me think of Powerpuff Girls. Fighting crime, trying to save the world. Okay. Yes, okay. Annie! How you doing? Just made it in time. Yeah, so I started playing a game called Another Crab's Treasure. It is really cool. I like it a lot. It's a really hard game, though. I mean, for me. I just have a really hard time with Souls-like games. If you don't know what that means, it's like a game where, I don't know, it's just like very brutal. You have to like I just keep dying. It's hard. But there's like an easy mode, like I can change the difficulty to a lot easier. I just don't wanna. But it's a really, really cool game. Basically, in the game, you are a little crab, a little hermit crab, whose home gets taken by a loan shark, which is literally, it's a shark. And you have to like fight other crabs and stuff, and there's like this pollution that's going on in the tide pool and stuff, and it's really cool. I like it a lot. I will suggest though, if you have something to play it on outside of the Nintendo Switch, I'd suggest playing it on something else. If you don't, then play it on the Switch. I'm playing it on the Switch. The problem is that on the Switch, you get really bad like frame delays, and the quality is like a lot lower because it's a big game, and I think it has a hard time running on that system. But yeah, that's my one suggestion with it. I will say though, it's a really, really fun game. I like it a lot. Very punny, which is totally my vibe. There's like, it feels like every other thing that's said in the game is a pun. 1. Hey Stars, how are you? How are you doing, Stars? Welcome to the stream. Earlier in the live stream, by the way, if you're just tuning in, we started crocheting our astronaut with Curious Papaya, the designer of this pattern. And we had a little Q&A with her and talked about crochet and how they crochet and everything like that. So it was a lot of fun. So go check it out maybe after the stream. Go rewatch the start. It was a lot of fun. Highly suggested. Check it out. But yeah, we're currently on the second part of our foot. We're almost done with it, actually. So we're going to start connecting things together in just a moment. 1, 2, there we go. 3. And yeah, also next live stream is going to be next week, same time, same place, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on YouTube. I'm trying to get it set up on Twitch and stuff, but I just haven't had the time to figure it out yet. But we're going to be crocheting an alien and a UFO next week. So we're going to be doing that in the light box to kind of celebrate our new challenge that's going to be launching with it. So if you want to join that, just subscribe down below, hit the little bell icon, you know, all that fun stuff. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I want one more. Yeah, we're gonna go one more. Because my stitches are kind of leaning a little further to the right than they normally do. Alright, I'm connecting things together now. You know what? I'll work around it for the first one. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Make the first leg. Do the second one. I love how this pattern has 6. Sorry, hold on. 7. Yeah, this is the last stitch. 12. I love this pattern has like very, very low amount of sewing involved. It's like almost no sewing. Okay, right here. Two. All right, this is gonna be the. I'm gonna move my round over just a little bit. Yeah. All right, look, the legs are together. Whoa, Celia's making super ultra tiny. Using 4-weight cotton with a 3.5 millimeter. Tiny. Tig, yes, there's definitely still time to test it. Please try testing the game out when you can. Absolutely looking for testers. Annie is doing good. And hello from Germany. Yeah, I hate sewing stuff together too. Which is why I love this new pattern. Stars started crocheting last summer and got a cold last week, so now you're crocheting again. Well, welcome back to the thread. Welcome back to the loop. Something like that. I'm gonna use a stitch marker here. I'm just gonna use this little bit of red yarn. Just an itty bitty amount. One. I'm gonna try counting my stitches here too. 3, just so that I know this round is right. 4, 5, 6. 8, 9, 10. 13, 15, okay, 16. I'm gonna stop there for just a second because I want to sew the middle together. But if I forget, remember I stopped at 16. It'll probably be fine though. I'm not even gonna sew together with a needle. I'm just going to use my crochet hook for it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's great. What was the stitch count? 16. I remembered. But thank you for also remembering in the chat. I know you did. 17, 18, 20. Okay, so there should be 4 more. Yes, we have our right stitch count. Cool. Now we just have a bunch of rounds of single crochet. So that was 1. We have 5 rounds total. So we got 4 rounds more of single crochet. So this is when I can just chill and just keep crocheting. Oh, okay. Any good movies coming out recently? Let's see. I think there's like a new Mad Max movie, but I don't really care too much about that. I do want to see the new Inside Out movie. Definitely. Let's see, any other movies that I've recently been wanting to watch or have watched. I'm not sure if there are any. I was actually kind of thinking of bringing back, last night I was like, you know what? We got to bring back movie Mondays. I don't know if we'll do it Mondays, but, you know, a slumber party movie night, Crochet Along. I think we should do it again. So, I don't know when we want to start it though, but, you know, maybe we do like an alien movie night. Maybe watching the movie Alien, or maybe a different movie. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is there an alien themed movie that you guys think would be really fun to crochet to, or just like maybe just a space themed movie? I've never seen Space Odyssey, but I always kind of felt like maybe it's kind of a boring movie. I don't know. I've never seen it though, so I don't even know if it is boring. Is it? Let me know. Annie loves Inside Out. Me too. Yes. Sure thing, Celia. Yeah, can you shed some light on how to sew together the legs? So I actually just did it. But I can kind of explain a little bit. Where are you getting stuck, Celia? The trick is really look at the pictures, and also maybe look at the video tutorial, because I really talk about it a lot in the video, because I also was struggling with it a lot the first time I made it. Yeah, so basically you want to make it so like the legs, this is them pointing forward. Essentially, the right leg, which was the first one for me, was had the end of the round on the left side of it. So if you look at the edge of the circle of where the piece is, so like let's say this whole stitch was one of the legs. So you can kind of see like, and normally the round ends like right here in the back, right? Hold on, let me stuff these pieces in here so I can get yarn out of the way to kind of explain things. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that the legs have the end of the legs are at opposite ends. So if you're looking at the top of the leg and it looks like a circle like this, for the right leg specifically, you want this to be the end to be over here on this side of the piece. Okay, so if you finish crocheting here and you want it to get over to here, over to here, you want it on this side. So if you want it to get over here, you would have to do a few more stitches. Once you have it over there, you cut it, pull it through, it's fine. So the leg is pointing like, I wish I had a pen and paper here. But the point is that you want the leg part to be pointing over there. And then when you do the second leg, you crochet even more stitches to get the end of the other leg to be pointing on the opposite end. And then you connect together by starting where you finished in the first leg and continuing around on the first leg in the same direction, so that you crochet all the way around the first leg and then you connect back to the second leg. and then you just crochet all the way around it, and you should have 24 stitches. Is the single crochet 9 in both legs? No. Single crochet 9 should only be in the second leg that you make. The first leg, you should only single crochet 3, and then you can cut it, pull it through. The second leg, you want to single crochet 9, don't cut it. Instead, now start in the same stitch that you finished in the first leg. After you did the first, when you were working on the first leg, you did 3 single crochets and then you cut, pulled through. That same stitch that you cut, pulled through out of, you start to that leg with the second leg so that you can work all the way around it. I hope that helps. It's kind of a hard explanation without being able to show you on the screen. I definitely suggest you check out the video tutorial for it, because I know this part's really confusing, so I went through a lot of detail in the video tutorial for this part specifically. Yeah. When you did 9 on the first leg, it went to the back of the leg. Yeah, so that's the other thing, is like the amount of stitches that you do will depend on your tension. So like I said in the written part of the pattern, it's less about how many stitches to do and more about where the end of your round is. On leg number 1, the end of the round, if you are crocheting right-handed, the end of the round should be on the left side of the stitch, left side of the circle, so that the toe is pointing forward. If the toe is pointing forward, it ends on the left side. So for me, that was 3 stitches. For you, that might be only 1 stitch, or that might be like no stitches. You might actually end there because that's how your tension was. For the other leg, it's the opposite way around. So you want to get all the way around to this side. So if you're crocheting 9 stitches and it's not ending up here and it's ending up on the back part, then you want to remove a few just so that it goes here. So it might be like 6 stitches instead of 9. Does that make sense? There should be 12 total in the circle, by the way. I hope that helps. I know it's really hard to explain. Did I do extra stitches on round 6? You did 3 extra stitches on each leg, so maybe that is making it not work. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with adding extra stitches. I didn't add any extra stitches. Oh, yes. Lee, where do you get the pattern? You can get the pattern right here, right there. clubcrochet.com/astro. You can also find it at the top of the chat. Right here is the chat you can see on there. But if you look at the chat on YouTube, there's a link at the top. There's also a link in the top of the description. All of those will take you to where the pattern is. The pattern is currently available for members only. So you need a Club Crochet membership to access it, or you can purchase it directly from Amy, the designer, aka Curious Papaya. Both of those are linked, though, at clubcrochet.com/astro. So if you go here, you should be able to find where to get the pattern. Yeah. And there's a full video and everything like that for it, so should help out. Okay. I think we want 4 rounds of single crochets here, or is it 5? 5. Okay. Oh, I think I have 2 more rounds. Oh, it does help. Okay, cool. I'm so glad it helped you, Celia. Take out the stitches and watch the video. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, let me know if that helps. Also, the video helps, or if you're having really struggling. Yeah, I'll try to do whatever I can to help out. Is it allowed to sell finished projects made with your patterns? Yes, Annie, it absolutely is. All that I request is that please put a link in the description with where you got the pattern from. So if you are working on, like, just for example, if you're selling it on Etsy, put in the description on Etsy, pattern by clubcrochet.com. If you're selling it in person, just make sure that it's obvious, I guess. Like, if someone asks you, where do you get the patterns? Just tell them the patterns from Club Crochet. Or, oh, did you design this? Oh, no, originally it was designed by another artist that goes by Louis Loops. You can find it at clubcrochet.com. Like, stuff like that. Just, that's it. But you're absolutely allowed to sell projects made using my patterns. By the way, this definitely was the right hook to use. I'm using an 8mm size hook, and I really like it. So I know in the beginning we talked about what size hook to use for this yarn, and we were kind of going through different sizes. I went with 8. I think it works out pretty well. Stars. You just wanted to say that you made a sweet bistro for your favorite manga character, Stuffy Tsukishima, from the animation Haiku. Use the tutorial from Sweet Stitches. Oh, that's cute! I love that. That's super cool. So can I follow your video to make what you're making? Yes, absolutely, Lee. Every pattern on the Club Crochet website, every single pattern that I release has a full length from beginning to end video tutorial that goes through every single stitch so that you never miss a stitch. I basically do that so that if you get stuck at any point, you can actually just watch me crochet it. And I go through and I explain what's going on in every stitch so that, yeah, you just never miss a stitch and you don't have a, like, it's hard to accidentally get really stuck on a Club Crochet pattern because the video tutorials are there for every tutorial. So, yeah, I think it's very helpful. But, yeah, let me know if you go through the video tutorial and you still have a difficult time with it. Let me know, and I can obviously help in these live streams like I'm doing, like I'm helping Celia out. Usually I have a light box that helps out a little bit better though too, so just letting you know. It's usually even better to help with. That was my question next, size 8mm. Yeah, I'm using 8mm size crochet hook with our Chanel blanket yarn. Crochandro has a question. Go for it, Crochandro. I am all ears. I am all ears. Sound like a robot. Little ears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's the last of our round of single crochets. So now we can start decreasing. Yee-hee! Okay. What is the round of decreasing after that? 4 and then decreasing. You got it. Past Lou. And then a decrease. 1. Yeah. You get stuck on everything. Yeah, I get that. 4. I got really stuck on this pattern when I was when I originally got it from Amy. I was like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And there's no video tutorial when she sent it to me, obviously. So I had a really tough time. So I totally understand how that comes. You know, the construction of this pattern is very unique. And it's easy to have a difficult time with it. But once you're done with this pattern, I feel like it's really eye-opening. Yeah. Crochandro, no question yet. Okay. Oh, yeah? Thanks, Lee. Yeah. I've been doing it for a long time. I've been in the crochet game for 17 years now, so it has been quite a while. 2, 3, 4. And specifically doing tutorials and video tutorials I've been doing video tutorials now for about 16 years. About a year after I started doing crochet, I got into video tutorials. So it's been a long time. Oh, okay, Crochandro. So, purchase a membership. You shouldn't have to purchase a membership. Basically, how the members work, if you have a membership code that comes in your kit. So, every time you get a kit from us, it should come with a little code that you can use on the website. Essentially, how it works is, if you go to the membership side of the page, there should be a little place for you to enter the code in, and it just takes any memberships that you get from a kit and it adds it onto the back of your membership. Yeah, so it just adds it to the back of it. And it also asks you, would you like to keep this membership going after your code is done with? So that might be what it's asking you there. Yeah, if you're having a difficult time finding exactly where to do that, I think if you just go to clubcrochet.com/member, it'll redirect you there, and then you can scroll down and find that spot. If you're really having a difficult time, though, please reach out to us, and I will guide you through it. I'll send you pictures and everything like that. Because obviously I can't really show you during the live stream, but I'd be happy to help. So to do that, just email me at louis@clubcrochet.com, and I can help you out too. Yeah. But yeah, every kit that you get includes a membership. Two. And then a decrease. One. Nice. I did it. I did it. It's asking. Oh, okay. It asks you to enter your card number. Well, that's for if. So, what it might be asking you there is that you probably had checked on continue my membership after my code expires. In which case, the only way for it to continue membership is if there's a payment option. Yeah. But please email me, Krishandro. It also might be something wonky, so I'd be happy to help. Celia, you never received the box you sent to me a few weeks ago for your pin being late. Did I forget to send it? No. Didn't I send you the... I think I even sent you the shipping code for it. Huh. Okay, I'll look into that too. So... I'll look into Celia's thing and Krishandro's thing. Krishandro, email me after this. Celia, yeah, I'll look into that after this. I think it might have gotten lost in the mail, which is a bummer, but that means I'll just get it back and then I can resend it. Or I can just send you another one and wait for it to come back. And if it doesn't come back, then you'll just get two things. Or it'll get lost in the mail and some happy mailman will get some free stickers and pins and stuff. Okay, I'll look into that after this, Celia. Yeah, it should have gotten there by now, which means it's probably been lost in the mail. Which, that happens a shocking amount. I mean, not like every single time, but it does happen every now and then, and it's extremely frustrating. I don't know. Don't put your address in the chat though, Celia. I don't want to, don't put any of your info in the chat. I'll email you tonight. I promise. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'll email you tonight. You did get the original pin though, right? I'm pretty sure you got that. Yeah, but you got your original order, I think. So at least there's that. But yeah, the little extra gift that I did send hasn't gotten there. Cool. One, two. This is also, we have a few more bonus patterns coming out this year for the new kit. Just a few more. We actually are pretty much done with all the main patterns for the kit. This was our last big main pattern for the kit, but there are a few bonus patterns coming out this season for the kit. Some of which are going to be, we have one more collaboration pattern coming, and we also have one more. I want to design another pattern live. So we got a couple more things still coming out this season. The season goes until mid-July, by the way. After that, we're going to be moving on to dinosaurs, which I'm pretty excited about. And I have to really start putting effort into the season after dinosaurs right now, too. Yeah, I'm going to be I'm going to be adding a few new dinosaur patterns. We got a few more collaboration patterns coming out that in our next season for dinosaurs. And then after that, we're going to be doing more... we're going to be focusing on Lava Run. We're going to be doing some board game stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah. I also need to put in a lot more effort on the whole board game thing. Ooh, Lilo and Stitch is a great suggestion for the alien idea. That's a really good idea. Got it. 1, 2. We're gonna do 3. Okay, cool. Now I'm adding the arms in, and this is like, I think the coolest part of this pattern is the fact that you add the arms on without sewing anything on. If I can find where the other arm is, though. There it is. Is Jimbo back in his spot? Oh, he is. He's so cute. Are any of the collabs from Complicated Knots? No, I still need to reach out to Complicated Knots. Actually, thank you for the reminder, Celia. I will reach out to them today because I do want to get a collaboration on the books with them. No, the collaboration, we have a collaboration with Drewby's Zoo coming soon. No. Oh, wait, before I do this, I just realized I need to stuff the arms up. I always forget this part, but I need to stuff the arms. And I need to turn off the air conditioning. I'm getting cold. Have I ever done any Winnie the Pooh crochet and stuff? I did a long time ago make a Winnie the Pooh and a piglet. Way long ago, like when I first started crocheting, over a decade. I have a hard time crocheting a lot of copywritten characters. I don't really like to crochet copywritten characters if I can avoid it. I used to crochet a lot more, like Marvel characters and stuff like that. One second, I just want to turn the air conditioning off. There we go. It was so cold. Yeah, so I usually kind of try to avoid doing copywritten characters, so that's why there's no Winnie the Pooh yet, and stuff like that. Because, you know, I just don't want to get in trouble. Thank you, Sunshine. Yeah, I actually have a feeling that especially when Lava Run comes out, I have a feeling you're not going to be the only person inspired to make board games. I think it's going to start a wave. I theorize we're going to have a wave of crochet board games, not just made by me. I think it's going to be a whole thing. That's my theory. I don't know, though. Yeah, I'll reach out to them. That's a perfect suggestion, though. Especially for the dino stuff. 1, 2, and... that. 1, 2, and... that. This. Okay. There's one arm sewn or like crocheted on. And then we have how many stitches between arms? 5 between arms, okay. We're almost done with the main part of this fella here. It's pretty exciting. Rubber band guy, hello. Okay, next arm. One, two, three. sure the thumb is pointing out. Nice. One. Oopsies. There we go. One. There's two. And one more. Okay. Nice. All right, I think I just slip stitch here and then we sew on the head. Yeah, and then we can add the other parts of the body afterwards, but this is the main part, so that's great. So break this. We're going to sew this onto the head. And let's stuff it up a bit. All the other parts we can add after everything's sewn on. I don't know if I'm going to add the ear parts yet or not, but maybe. I'm going to stuff it with a bunch of extra thread before I use actual stuffing. Oh, thanks, rubber band guy. Do you make a lot of rubber bands? Things? I was just going to use a rubber band yesterday to make... I'm working on an orc for a Patreon supporter for Louie's Loops. And they want an orc that is attacking someone with goblins. So I'm making an orc that is shooting, that has a rubber band slingshot that is shooting goblins with rubber bands. Like, you know, like it's using a rubber band slingshot to shoot goblins. Not to shoot at goblins, but to use goblins as ammo. It's really cute. I'm really, really happy with it so far. It's almost done. I've been working on it every night, like a little bit. And yeah, it's just really cute. I'll definitely post something about it once it's done. Look at that. We got a nice chunky body. And now we just need to put this onto here. No, other way around. This way. This is so cute. Oh my god. I don't know who I'm going to give this to, but someone is getting this. Oh, it's going to be hard to let it go, though. It's so cute. Okay, so let's go ahead and sew the head on. And then we can add all the different body parts. We're almost 3 hours in, so I think we'll probably finish this in about maybe an hour. Maybe a little less. Hopefully a little less. What's a... What? I don't know. I don't know what you just said, Lee. Okay. So we're gonna go. I usually like to just hold it in place as I sew it on. Okay, so there's one. This is the main sewing part. And there's not really a lot of ways to get around this, to be honest. So I know Amy was trying to get around having too much sewing, but there's not really too much you can do when it comes to this construction. But I do absolutely appreciate all the tricks she used to avoid as much sewing as possible. Definitely appreciated. And a little bit of sewing is kind of nice too. I should do a giveaway for the astronaut. I've been considering doing a raffle system. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I haven't done it yet, but it is something I really want to do. Essentially, like, make it so if you support during the live stream, you enter a raffle, and then we do a giveaway for some crochet every week for people that have entered the raffle. That's just something I've been kind of considering. I think I might have talked about it on the stream once too. What's the rubber band thing? Yeah, so it's here I can show you. It's not much to show you right now, but I'll show you in just a second. Let me you know what? While it's still on our minds, let me go get it. 1 second, it's in the other room. It won't really explain too much, but it's worth it. Okay, so here's what I've been making. So here's the orc. See? So I'm putting his. Notice how his arms are kind of like pulled back like this. I'm gonna try putting a slingshot in this arm, like a big slingshot, and then on the slingshot is gonna be a rubber band with a little pad in it, and then in the pad is gonna be this goblin. So he's pulling a goblin. Here's the little goblin, by the way. He's pulling a little goblin in the, so he's like shooting a goblin off in a slingshot. And then I was gonna do a little backpack with a few extra goblins in it, like he brought ammo. So that's what I was kind of thinking, and then adding some colors and hair and stuff like that. Yep, exactly, Krishandro. A little like raffle system with like a spin, a wheel that you can add your name to by supporting the live stream. Exactly. Hello, Samantha. Welcome to the stream. There we go. Gotta be careful not to pull too tight. You made the sun! That's awesome, rubber band guy. How did it look? How did it come out? I actually am super duper proud of that pattern, just because it was like a one and done. Like, very rarely do I make a pattern and just like love it so much, just so proud of it that I don't even feel the need to like even really test it out. I mean, I tested it out personally, like I you know, tested the pattern about a bunch so that I knew everything was written down correctly, but it was also a pretty simple pattern. It's kind of rare that I come out with a simple pattern that I also like that much too. So, yeah. Long story short, I'm proud of that one. I think it's cool. It's rare that I come out with patterns that I'm not proud of, though. Like, I can't even think of any that I've come out with that I'm not really proud of. Yeah, Jules the other day was like, you say you're proud of all your patterns. And I'm like, yeah, because I am proud of all my patterns. There we go. All right, head is almost done being sewn on. And then we just need to add some like just various body parts, and we'll add a backpack and stuff like that. Just astronaut stuff. Cool. One. That was a perfect. That was a perfect. Okay. Boom. All right. I'm gonna. Now, in Curious Papaya's suggestions, she suggested that you can like sew these arms down so that they're like more like this. You know? Which makes them look a little bit skinnier. But I like them a little chunky, so I'm going to keep them unsewn on. It's also kind of fun to do this. So we're going to keep it like that. Okay, we're going to go back in, and I'll just come out somewhere on the back. And you know what? I'll just come back in. I'll come out somewhere on the top. Pew! There we go. All right. Main part is done. We'll keep him right here. And let's start getting to work on the backpack next. I think we need a backpack and we need like a chest plate. But we'll start with the backpack. Actually, we'll start with the chest pad. It's first in the pattern anyhow. So yeah, we'll do that first. So chest pad. Got it. Easy. Chest pad is nice and easy. How do I deal with the ends of plush yarn and preventing it from falling apart? Interesting question. I actually haven't had too much trouble yet with it falling apart necessarily. I've been kind of just like hiding the ends really, really deep in it. So I like, for the end of this one, I went in through the back and then back out through the top to kind of create a little additional knot on the inside and making it go through all the stuffing simultaneously. So if it does start to come apart, it's going to take a long time before that head actually comes off. 3, 5, 6, 6, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. But also, I'll be honest, I haven't been messing with cotton yarn like this. I mean, sorry, yarn like this for a while. So, like, I'm still learning a lot about it. I probably think that you could probably use like a cotton and stuff instead of the plush yarn to sew stuff on to like make sure that it's more secure. But I'm still learning. And you know what? Well, we're all learning, always. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Markiana said that they just started crocheting for the first time today, and the increase is killing me. Okay, so Markiana, first off, what are you working on? Super curious. Also, yeah, increases can be tough when you're first starting crocheting, because it's really hard to crochet and know where like the same stitch was or the last stitch was. An increase basically just means 2 single crochets in the same spot, which I'm sure you already know that by now. But it definitely can be difficult to know where that stitch is supposed to be, especially if you're crocheting with some kind of yarn like this. So you don't want to be using a fuzzy yarn. So if you're using a very fuzzy yarn right now, I'd suggest trying to start over with maybe with like a cotton or with a Bernat's got this yarn called Bernat Maker yarn that's pretty good for beginners too. yeah, there's like a few different options out there, but you just don't want to really use this fuzzy yarn. Like chenille yarn is probably not the right fit. But yeah, other than that, those are my main tips. Does anybody have any tips for wait, hold on. Yeah, okay. Does anybody have any tips for Markiana? They're crocheting for the first time today and having a difficult time with increases. By the way, how exciting. You're starting your crochet journey. Oh my god, that's so exciting. I hope you enjoy it as much as you should. Zoe said they like to tie a little knot at the end of the yarn near your needle while you're sewing stuff together with plush yarn. It minimizes the floofs and the fallout. Cool. Super good tip. Love that. You're trying to make a dinosaur with the fuzzy yarn. Yeah, that's going to be tough, Marciana. I think you should try using not a fluffy yarn right now. Fluffy yarn is a more advanced yarn, definitely. Even for me, I've been crocheting for 17 years and designing amigurumi, so I crochet a lot. And fluffy yarn is still like a difficult yarn to use for me. So, yeah. Also, yeah, listen to Sunshine there. Start with something maybe a little easier. Start with maybe the Crocheting 101. That's a great place to start. You can find that at just going to crocheting101.com. It's a free series that I built that takes you through learning how to crochet. It takes you through all the different stitches, but it also gives you projects in between each stitch so that you're actually like making stuff as you go. And you're learning, the process of crochet and like what different stuff do. Yeah, you get it. I definitely suggest starting with Crocheting 101 if you would like to. It sounds like you kind of maybe have a grasp on some of the basics though. So some beginner patterns that might be more up your speed would be like there's a whale pattern we came out with. The sun that you can see in the background right here is actually a great beginner pattern to start with if you'd like to. We have a giant strawberry pattern. That one's super beginner friendly. Yeah. Dinos might be a little tricky. Just because, like, there's a lot going on in a dinosaur. And 3. So I'm just adding some, like, buttons and stuff to the chest plate that we're going to sew on. Can. There we go. I'm making basically a bullion knot to add a button. Like that. See, just like a little red dot. And I'm going to add a little line in yellow, and then I'm adding a long line in blue at the bottom. Red. Okay, let's do the blue one next. Zoe says they gotta make more weapons for their goblins to take on the gnomes. I've checked the weapons pattern on the site, but do I have any cool tips for weapons? That's a great question, Zoe. My big tip is I really like using pipe cleaners for the weapons a lot. I will say I have been making weapons out of other things as well. Like I really like using like other materials for weapons. So the other day I was like, what if we used a bottle cap? Like a bottle cap would be a great like axe, like top of an axe. And then just trying to figure out how to make it work really well. I really like it when the weapons look very like cobbled together, personally. The there we go. Also buttons. I have a video somewhere where I talk about like how I did a weapon for a dwarf, where I basically like split a toothpick in half and stuck the two halves of the toothpick. It wasn't a toothpick, it was actually a skewer because the toothpick's a little tiny, but just a stick in general. If you can split it and you have a button that's like a long button with two holes, you can stick those two ends of the stick through those two holes and then tie the top and the bottom of the stick together by going like through the buttonholes and stuff and just like kind of cobbling it together, and then you have an axe that fits perfectly into the arms of their hands. I really like that one. For swords, try using needles would be helpful. I'm sorry, Jimbo. I didn't mean to wake you up. I'm sorry. Needles are super helpful. Nails. Nails are great swords. My dad actually makes me swords by using nails that he flattens down. He's a blacksmith, so he has like some like heavy hammers and stuff for that, but it's super cool. Yeah, nails are super fun. Yeah. I'm gonna just use some regular cotton yellow yarn so I don't have to get up for the yellow detail of this. That's good. Yeah, the button weapon is really, really cool. I think that it looks like one of the coolest things I've made. And then doing like the like pipe cleaner stuff, like wrapping yarn around a pipe cleaner is a great way to do it too. All right, so that's going to be the chest plate that we're going to sew on right here, like that. Cool. We're nearly done, you guys. Very, very close to finishing. How did I first approach creating my own pattern? The first time I created my own pattern was actually like the second thing I crocheted. I got right into crocheting my own patterns, like pretty much immediately. The reason was because it was really early on in the crochet community for amigurumi in general. Like amigurumi had just basically made it to the States. It was like early 2000s. Yeah, early-ish, like maybe mid-2000s that I started crocheting. So there weren't too many amigurumi patterns out there. So when I first started crocheting, I basically was kind of like pioneering like how to write these patterns down. So it just kind of like one at a time. I don't know. I guess I just kind of did. I don't really know how to explain it. It was a lot of like, okay, make this, explain this. This is why I actually got into video tutorials really early on in my career, was because I was having a really, really hard time explaining how to do certain stitches, because I was making stitches up, especially in the beginning. I was making a lot of stitches up, like the spiked bobble stitch. Even stitches that already were stitches, I hadn't learned online. I just like made it up, and it turned out it was a stitch that was already out. A good example of that was I didn't learn the half double crochet. I just was like, I wonder what happens if I yarn over, then go into a stitch, and then yarn, like, I wonder what happens if. I did a lot of that. And then later on I found out, oh, these are already stitches. What's this one called? Wow, that's a terrible name for a stitch. The half double crochet. Okay, sure, if you say so. But yeah, that's a great example of how I just like kind of, I don't think it's a suggested way to get into writing your patterns, is my whole point here, is like, I wouldn't do it like the way I did it, because it was a lot of trial and error, a lot of learning as I went. But yeah, there's my kind of like how everything started a little bit spiel. Okay, this chest plate's kind of rounded, which is sort of cute. It's a little different. Maybe, I don't think I messed it up. I think it's just the way that this yarn kind of crocheted up. But yeah, I guess my suggestion for you is, for the person trying to figure out how to write their own patterns, is just write it down, create a prototype, try writing the prototype down, and then get advice on it. You know, like, just send it to people, get testers, really test stuff out a lot before you finally release your first pattern, because once it's out there, it's really hard to put the bottle back down. So it's hard to fix patterns after they're already published. So I just suggest know what you're doing before you do it. What is the longest live stream? I think I've done a 5-hour live stream before. I think that's the longest. But I usually don't go over 4 hours. They're really exhausting, you know? Okay. Chest plate sewn on. The last thing I want to do, I'm not going to add the ear parts because I don't want to, but I'm going to add the backpack on the back. So now we got to make a backpack. And I think the backpack was like 6 and then 12. Okay, yeah. Should be pretty easy. Yeah, I think another tip is also do a lot of other people's patterns before you start writing your own patterns. That was something I didn't really do personally. I just kind of like jumped into it. So it took a long time to really learn how to write a pattern for me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I think I could have cut that time down pretty significantly if I just tried using other people's patterns a little bit more in the beginning. But like I said, there wasn't that many patterns when I first started crocheting, especially for amigurumi. It was mostly like blankets and hats and things like that. But now, you know, there's a bazillion crochet patterns out there. 1, 2. One of my longest live streams is probably the volcano. Yeah, probably. Probably the volcano. I got a frog in my throat. Get out of there. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. And 3 in this last one. 1. Two. Three. I think I might have messed this one up, but whatever. Boom. Okay. So that's the end of round 1 for our backpack. All right, see you later, rubber band guy. Thanks for joining. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay. Two, 3. Yeah, okay, so I just got a bunch of rounds of single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ten. Seven. Ooh, did I mess up somewhere? 6. I did. I'm gonna decrease just to make sure the stitch count is right. Nice. You totally should. Yes, you should totally make the astronaut. I'm having a hard time pronouncing your name. It looks like it's maybe Russian, like Morocco, but I don't know. How do I pronounce your name? Six. So that's 2. I think I need 5 rounds. Yeah. 3 more rounds of single crochets. We're almost there. There's 3. You know, we're calling this a backpack, right? But it's kind of like is it a backpack? It's more like an air, like a oxygen tank, I guess, huh? Yeah, I still haven't eaten. And I'm definitely getting sleepy. My body is low on blood sugar. I should have eaten. 2, 2, 4. Alright, so there's our 5 rounds. This is going to be big enough for a backpack? Oh, definitely. That's perfect. Okay, cool. So next up, we're just going to slip stitch here and connect everything together. And then I'm going to sew this onto the back. Cool. Nearly done. Moloko. Oh, I was actually pretty close then, huh? Moloko. Or is it a jetpack? Now that is the important... Zoe out here asking the important questions. I think it's a jetpack. I think it's a great point. Throw this little extra thread in there. That's probably good. Needle. And start the last part of the sewing. Cooper! I've been thinking about you. How you doing, Cooper? Thanks for joining. How's your day been? Okay, so that. There we go. Oh my gosh, guys, big news. Important news from Zoe. From Zoe. Their Tamagotchi did a poo. Oh my gosh, that actually reminds me of some really, really cool news. And you can help me decide this. Okay, so when we went to Japan, Jules and I saw they had like original Tamagotchis in Japan. And so we bought one for my friend who I knew was going to love Tamagotchis. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to save it and I'm going to give it to her on Christmas. It's going to be, or her birthday, you know? It's going to be like the gift for her. Oh, I just realized it's her birthday in 2 days. Anyhow, but my other friends just went to Japan and they also got her Tamagotchi. They brought it back for her and gave it to her. And I was like, oh my gosh, I also got you a Tamagotchi. So now I'm like, do I keep the Tamagotchi? Because I kind of wanted to keep a Tamagotchi anyhow. When I got it, I was like, I kind of want this. Or do I give it to another friend so that they could play with the Tamagotchi? I don't know. I can't decide. Part of me wants to be selfish, and I just got a free Tamagotchi. But I don't know. I need to text her though. I just realized her birthday is this weekend. And see if she's doing anything for her birthday. You actually probably, if you've been around Club Crochet for a long time, you will know who I'm talking about. Her name is Nicole, and she was the one helping out. If you had gotten any kits when we were doing our monthly kits, that was Nicole. She was the one making them. Zoe says, keep it. You want it, trust me. I do want it. I definitely want it. Can we play... No, you gotta be close to another Tamagotchi, right? I can't, like... It's not like Pokemon. I can't, like, trade Tamagotchis from the internets. I'm pretty sure. Alright, guys. I'm sewing on the last bit. And hey, if you haven't yet, please like down below. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to be back again next week crocheting a UFO and an alien. So if you'd like to join, just subscribe. Hit the little bell icon. It'll let you know when we come out with our live streams. You can also create an account on the website. If you go to clubcrochet.com, just create an account. I also let you know via email when there's live streams. But yeah, next stream will be next Friday, same time, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here. And yeah, we'll be crocheting an alien. We're also starting the challenge next week too. So there's that. Okay, I think that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and just knot this on the inside. And we're gonna really try to make sure this is knotted in. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. There we go. Back in and out somewhere else. Okay. Let's look at our finished astronaut without the ear pads. Look at how cool this is, you guys. Look at how cute. Oh my god, it's so big. I love it. This is such a good gift for a kid, too. I really, really love this. I wonder if I could send this to my friend who just had a baby. I could send it to them. Or I could keep it myself. I don't know. I don't know. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Special thanks again to Amy, aka Curious Papaya, who was in the beginning of this stream. If you weren't here for that, go check it out. It was a really good interview. We had a really good conversation. We made this adorable astronaut, and we'll be live again next week making an alien and UFO. Same time, same place. So 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, making an alien and UFO. Yes, I know, right, Celia? It did turn out so cute. Thank you guys all so much for joining. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Anybody that supported, thank you so much. Oh, Cooper! A last second support from Mr. Cooper. Thank you so much, Coop. That's awesome. You're great. So both Cooper and Crochandro supported this week. I will make sure to add some stars to the background next week for you. So thank you so much. And yes, I will be checking my email. And if you have any questions about this pattern, you get stuck at any point, just reach out to either me or Amy at either on Instagram or just by emailing us, and we'd be happy to help out. Okay, guys, pasta la pizza, happy hooking, and I'll see you next week making an alien for this little astronaut. Bye! Here's a last little thing. Look at Jimbo. Look at this kitty cat. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. You want to say bye, Jimbo? No? Alright, you think about it. Looks like you're just going to go right back to sleep. Little baby. Just a little baby. Okay. Bye, everybody. Big yawn. Okay, yeah, nap time. It's nap time. All right, guys. Bye.